G'day, citizens. Welcome to Inforunners. I'm Execute, joined today by old man, host himself, Algared. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So, I've been gone for about 2 weeks. What did I miss? Fill me in.
Not much. Not much at all.
Bullshit. There was a heap.
Yep. There's a PTU is still in testing, but apparently comes live next week.
What about the goods? Come on. Where's the goods? You've been slacking. I've been gone for 2 weeks, and you've been slacking. You've done nothing.
That's right. Stella Fortuna's come out.
You're meant to be email. You're this teacher. You're meant to be molding young minds. You're meant to be informing people. You know, getting people engaged. You know, the education of the future. And what'd you do? You slacked off for 2 weeks.
I was educating people and going for the future.
You go away for 2 weeks. I keep going. Dude, I go for 2 weeks. You fucking stop. Right. So the giveaway this week is a Peregrine.
The Peregrine.
Guess what?
Yep.
How do they win?
They enter.
They fucking roast the fuck out of Algared. That's how they win. The funniest fuck is Peregrine. That's how it's going to work. On the giveaway channel, you put in a roast about Algared. Actually, I'm going to extend it. Also a roast about the Peregrine. I can't believe how stupid they were to give us another Peregrine after we said about the last one. So you can roast Algared or you can roast the Peregrine. I don't know if you can type in the giveaway channel. I need to check that. Hang on, give me a second.
That's also rude.
Giveaways. Someone type in there. Just a normal person. Can anyone type in the giveaway channel? Algared, it won't be me or you. It'd have to be one of them. So go into the Discord.
I know.
Go on the Discord. Go into the the funniest roast of Algared or the Peregrine, and we'll give it away next week. That's what it's going to be. And I'll read them all.
Now, I will say that you could have a lot to read if that's the case.
Yeah, a lot of people would say it's shitty. I know. I don't blame them.
Well, you know, it'll be nothing new because I get that from you all the time.
Yeah, well, they're going to make me laugh. So if they're doing my jokes, probably not going to laugh, am I? So, yeah. Thank you for the hype train on Twitch. Gasoline Moth, Thorn, Arcane Danger. Thanks for that, boys. Picking it right off. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Always nice to see that. But with the Stella Fortuna, they're doing a big racing push with that. Plugging both Atmo Esports and your racing, and your Golf Crux Cup coming up, and their 24-hour endurance racer. So that's pretty big.
Hang on. Hang on. They're telling me they can't post in the giveaway channel, so keep talking. I'm going to make roast channel. Hold on. Go ahead.
And so, along with the Stella Fortuna, they do have an Arena Commander event going at the moment. And from what I understand from that, if you go and do the online version of Arena Commander in the classic races, you will get a racing helmet, the Giocoso helmet in ivory. So, if you want a helmet to add to your multiple list of billions of helmets, go into Arena Commander and enter a classic race in the online version, not the offline version, and you will get the helmet.
Right.
For those
view channel, manage channel, create invites, permission, send messages, bang.
For those with more skill than me,
that's a very low bar. Right, keep going.
They certainly are in terms of what I was about to say. For those with more skill than me in manipulating video content, they did hint at the new ship that's going to be released in about a 2-second snip, because as Disco said, because we're mean. He may have used other language, but I can't remember.
I think he said because they were dicks or something like that, but yeah, close enough.
Yeah, something like that. And I thought that was a bit offensive, but hey.
Oh, whatever.
But I got what he was saying, they're slack. Or as we'd say in Australia, they're bastards.
All right, so there's a roast channel up under the giveaway channel. I did just give permissions to citizens, which is the default role in the Discord. Can anyone type in there? S number 2. Just let me know. All right, sorry, I keep going.
Yep. No, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, so those people with the skill to stop a frame, freeze a frame, and see if you can actually work out what the ship was, they could do that. But it's a ship.
Look, it's very close to what I thought it was going to be, actually, because I said to you, I thought it would be like half Scorpius, half Zeus. That's kind of what I was expecting. But ironically, it's a lot more Scorpius. All right, cool. It's working. All right, cool. Yeah, cool. No, so stop typing yes. No more yeses. That's where your roasts go now. So I'm just going to delete. I'm going to delete every single post, including my own. Thank you for that, boys. Appreciate it. It's working.
And the other thing we are getting is more updates on the newly revised Hull B in the. I think we're getting that in next week's release of stuff. So, so there's that. Sandy also was testing visual headsets from Steam.
The Steam frame
virtual headset.
Yeah, I did see that.
She had 2 sets. She asked them for them.
Awesome.
And
well, they obviously know Star Citizen and the VR stuff, so that that's going to bear fruit to them on the other end.
I asked Sandy whether she'd actually had a try it with Squadron 42 yet to see, was it any good? And she said she hasn't done Squadron 42 yet. She was doing, I think it was Half-Life. She said she was doing, and she was thinking, man, they were really smooth and it was really great. So there's that aspect as well. My interest in the visuals, the visual headset stuff would be, does it take away head bobble? And you know what I mean? Like when I'm using, what was that? The one we had, the bar. I can't read the label, but you know the one, the eye tracker.
Toby.
The Toby eye tracker. Yep. And if you're using a head, and if you're using the other one on that's. Do
you use your head like it's that reflective that you can get the Toby to bounce off your head?
No, but you know when you're using the one that's around the head, the
track IR, the track IR,
the track IR, yeah, the one I never use.
Yeah, I've got one here.
The one I've never used, so I never know what it is. But whenever I use the eye tracker, I'm constantly doing. My character's constantly doing this, and because my character's constantly doing that,
because you're constantly sleepy.
Yeah, well, he looks like he's constantly sleeping, but because the screen has him going up and down, up and down, up and down, I actually get motion sickness just watching my character's head going up and down. So I always wonder whether virtual reality would actually still have that effect, or whether it would actually improve the experience. So
you get a roll up vote for that one, Lycan. That almost got me. That almost got me. You were so close. You were so close. They're coming in. That's all I'm going to say. This is the best giveaway ever. I should have done this years ago. Right. I need to get the bot up as well. Now I've made that channel. Right. Stream questions. Start.
Well, I assume this giveaway is being done today then.
No. I'll let it pile up for a week. We could do the whole month, like really let people stew on it. Think of some real.
I think if you go the whole month, it opens up to a roast of you as well.
No. So I'm the good boy. I did my job while you were away. You didn't do your job while I was away. Bad boys get punished. Good guys get prizes. That's how it works.
So I don't have control of the stream.
You know what I could do? I could actually up. If you want to really go on about it, I can up the price if you want. I've also got a saber there that we've got sitting there, so I could give a saber and a Peregrine away. One for the ship, about the ship, and one about you if you prefer. Like I can really up it if you want.
We've got a slab of ships in there.
Up.
No, we've got a pile of ships in our giveaway pile. fine. Give two away.
We'll see. But I can't believe they gave us another.
I'm quite happy for us to give two away. So
I can't
just
believe.
so you know.
I can't believe they gave us another Peregrine. All the shit we gave last time. The Peregrine Duke, you know, all the little things we said about it. It is a pretty good racing ship. Look, I'll give them that, right? But man, it's steep for what you get. You know, like it's not a cheap ship, not by a long shot. Hey, socially, good to see you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the bot is up. It is grabbing the questions.
I'll go back to the question channel because.
But we'll let those come in. So I do have some things to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some big stuff you missed.
Oh yeah, saw that.
Oh, you did, huh?
Just a ground vehicle. Just a ground vehicle.
Oh, yeah, just a ground vehicle. It's probably my most wanted ground vehicle, believe it or not. I am really looking forward to it. I said when it came out, carries 1 SCU, it's all terrain, it's going to work in combat situations as well. And the other thing, I was talking with PC 101 and Pisspoor Pete about this yesterday, and something that they brought up is they reckon it's going to come out with the Siege of Origin stuff. Now look where it's situated in world.
It is in Origin.
It's in
Orison.
It's literally in Horizon. And you'll notice that in the next event here, there's already a skin for it. So it's coming with those Titans of Industry or whatever the hell that event is called.
Yeah, and look, being a vehicle for Orison and the Siege of Orison events, if it's the size of a PT, but it was in that video.
Yep.
If it's in the Siege of Orison, and if it's the size of a PT,
Steve,
the PTV, the original little
Steve. No, it's big. Yeah. It's the same size as a Steve.
But if it's that small compact type vehicle, like you remember the PTV used to get everywhere.
Well, the PTV is smaller again, so that's why I say the Steve. So the Steve only carries 2 quarter boxes. Right, this carries a full box, but also you got the tractor beam on the side. People are saying, see how it's got this little step thing on the back as well. You might be able to stand on the back, or imagine if there was like a handrail you could stand and shoot. I'm not saying you can do that, but man, that would be cool. I am really looking out of the ones we've seen so far. This is to me the most you'll get this reference, Ursa-like of the smaller ones. Does that make sense? As in the most versatile. It probably won't be the fastest, but when it's all terrain like the Dragonfly and it carries a single SCU container, I think it might be the best of those smaller ones.
You put some weapon hardpoints on there, and it's basically a long range recon vehicle that was used in World War II and used by the Australians in the Gulf War and stuff to do the things they do. But
so Art, you can drop into voice and ask that question if you want, man. Just drop into general, and I'll give you voice powers. So you can come and I'll give you the same kind of privileges as Grim. So Art, drop in voice, and you can ask that one yourself. I think this is probably going to be just before Invictus, so it might miss being the LTI token, but it will be a very good LTI token to pick up for said Invictus. There is also a lot of what do you call it on the roadmap, a lot of
now
utility industrial ships, which is very unusual for this time of year. Right, we're used to the more militant ships, right? So the whole B, they said in this exact video, said in 2 weeks, which is right in line with that of industrial.
They were going to get. I thought he said we were going to get information about it next week.
In 2 weeks' time, next week will be the Aurora Mark II, 100%, which is the title of this episode. Also the Return of Me, but I'm not the king, but the Return of Me, and the Return of the Aurora. I do want to talk about that Aurora quite extensively because it is surprisingly a lot like what I thought it was going to be. I think they could have made some other little tips of the hat that they didn't do. But I guess we'll see in time when it comes out. Maybe it would have made the ship too big with what I had in mind, but we'll see. So yeah. And then the other one obviously is the Ironclad's coming and the Raelian. And they were both on, if you go to this one, monthly report, this one here confirms something else you and I talked about. The Hammerhead gold standard, with the ship moving to downstream teams closing out, they moved onto a related ship, which is approaching white box. Well, that screams a fucking variant.
That's the variant of a Hammerhead.
Yeah, you and I have been saying that. Like, why the fuck are they going? Like, why wouldn't they go back and turn that into a variant? You've got to do it for Squadron. It's got to fix a bunch of stuff. It's not a terrible frame. It just needs a cooler roll. Now, the
frame of it is awesome.
Yeah, we've theorized for years what you could do with it. I still think that it's, and Grim kind of brought this up as well, is like a kit. I think they're going to not have a kit. I think they're just going to have fixed turrets. I think that's the simplest version. You just make, like, instead of 4 size 4s, you have 2 size 6s as an example on every turret. It completely changes the role of the ship. Punch up instead of punch down. And now the Perseus is out. You see where I'm going, right? It's like a smaller sibling. There would be a role for that. I just don't know if that's the way they're going to go. I've heard everything from like a crazy Gray's Market mining variant or salvage variant.
Well, that's what Thorn say now. Mining Hammerhead.
Yeah. So
well,
with the variants, I think the variants are harder to detect than previous. You and I have talked about that, yeah. So just leave your minds open, guys. Like, okay, we've got but it's harder to find that last part now. Weirdly enough, you thought it would be easier, but no, it's harder to detect, if anything. Attacked Raelian past white box, blah blah blah. Have its planned release at Alien Week. Holy shit! An Alien Week ship at Alien Week. Wow. Wow. I was kind of surprised. I didn't think it was going to be ready. I even said it. The last thing I said was I thought that they might bring out a smaller ship and release the Attack Raelian later, but no, it's
nope, they're aiming for Alien Week, which is good, and that's one of the things we kind of hope they'd do anyway. So
that's 2 big cargo ships, the Hull B and the Raelian, which is really interesting. Then it goes on to talk about the UTV, the Hull B, as we've already talked about. The Ironclad Assault Command Module, past grey box gate review. The team is moved on to LOD task, quicking, repress, and time invested, blah, blah, blah. So that's on track as well, I think, for DefenseCon. And if it's not at DefenseCon, then maybe it comes out on its own, because they don't say anything about DefenseCon there, which is kind of strange. But you also look at where the Raelian is. It's in its white box, and the Ironclad is at LOD. So the Ironclad is technically in front of the Raelian. So you've got to assume it's coming at DefenseCon. It just makes the most sense.
Yeah. The only thing I could see in the Raelian pushing ahead of the Ironclad is the fact that the Ironclad the bigger ship and required more work, but it's still
where it's sitting though, and
where it's sitting and what they're saying seems to imply it's ahead. But yeah,
and we're seeing really good screenshots of it, like at the start of the year and stuff like that. So yeah. 3 announced vehicles progress 2. The first is approaching its grey box gate review, which is the second past grey box following minor functionality request from the director. The third passed its white box review through, are currently receiving tweaks to a layout before grey box. Now, this is where I stumble a little bit, because technically we know the Mark II Aurora is announced, right? But I wonder if that is the 2 variants of the Aurora.
Could be,
because they've gone both ways before. It depends on who's writing.
Yeah.
Wait, was there a?
And the fact they talk vehicle with, and then talk about the space in the vehicle, and makes me think ships, but then vehicle also makes me think.
Some challenges require a more modular approach. What the fuck is that? That is not a component.
No. Are they
It's like a module for a vehicle or something.
Are they modules for the Galaxy?
They look too small.
Or
They look too
a
small.
Caterpillar?
They look like a backpack or something like that, like a jetpack or something.
But they could be jetpack modules.
Some challenges require a more modular approach.
Now, if you zoom in, is that a door or is that a battery link or? Well, it's not a door.
See how it's got like a nozzle here and a nozzle here,
Yep.
and then two stand things. That's what made me think it was a jetpack. And then this one's got two nozzles and a
Yep.
like an engine thing. They do. They look like jetpacks.
From when it was far away from looking at smaller screen and that.
So
I was
could this be a
doors and modules of ships, but
this be
they look more like.
Could this be a heavy jetpack and this is like a light jetpack? Because you got heavy and light armor and stuff.
Or are they the things that go onto the back of Atlases?
Yeah, that too.
So they're the packs of the Atlas, or change the role of the Atlas by clicking a different pack on.
All right. So I came in here looking for this one, and I came in here looking for this one. Now, I can't pull them both up at the same time because of the way I've got my thing set up. But I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that me and Pete and PC1 went through. So you'll notice there's MFDs on this one, no MFDs on this one. You can kind of see the round rings on the outside here. And you can obviously see the round ring on here. So what I'm trying to get at here, I'm trying to speed this up. Obviously, you got an engineering panel and stuff like that. What I think they've done is they've taken the, the modular front section nature of the Connie, and that they just worked on modularity with the Apollo, and the RSI kit is really developed. I think they're going to have literal different front ends for every version of the Aurora.
Yeah, look, I could see that.
Inside and out.
Because you'll remember when they broke up the Connie and, the neck, the head, the body, the tail.
Yep.
That was also so they could do damage states. So they could break it when the ship's breaking up, when it's being destroyed, you break it up into those four main bits and then further. So having ships break up in the same style, if you're turning your ships into modular ships, that helps them break up. But it also helps when you're building out a new module or a new version. You go, I will tack a racing front onto the back of the, or a racing tail instead of, So I could, or a.
So you'll notice as well that the camera view is kind of in the same place, implying that you can switch around, right? And I think the last thing I want to bring up as well, that I just want to float, right? It's just a crazy idea, right? But the last time I saw modularity like this was the 300 series where they did the customization. Could that be back? Now, I don't know if it is, but I just want to float that idea. Because you go through and start looking here, there is some pretty big differences between the two. Like this one's got a fire extinguisher, this one does not. This one's got an engineering console, this one's got door switches, this one's got door switches as well, but it doesn't have the engineering console, things like that. So we also went through and started thinking about that is a Scorpius-like ship, right? And the default Aurora way better than I do, in fact. The two variants that I came up with was a CL, an LN, and then something that's between the two. Right? Yeah,
well, when you look at the five Auroras, the ES isn't really needed, but in some ways,
and either is the LX, right? So that's where you're on the same path as I was, exactly the same.
And you look at the way they function, and you generally only need three. Like there's generally three real big differences in the way that they function, but all the Auroras are different when you look at the stats and break them down line by line. But so if you look at, you don't need all five.
If you look at kind of cargo count, right? I think the one that's got the most cargo at the moment in that advanced, because I'm expecting this to be an advanced starter, right? Because we don't have an RSI advanced. I know the Salvation's a profession starter, but we don't have a generic starter, right? So that's kind of what's missing, right? So when I look at this, we've got a 300 series in the 315p with 12 SCU.
Yep.
Being the most at the moment of those advanced starters. You could technically count the Nomad as well, which goes up to, was it 40 or 60 or something like that? But that's a bit more pricey.
Stacking, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm thinking the CL might go in similar vein to the 315p. And then obviously it gives up combat capability to do so. I'd probably think, you know, I don't think that, I'm not going to guess which one's which. In fact, I think this is probably the middle of the road variant. This looks kind of plain. This one kind of looks more comedy to me, you know, with the red. So then you have one that's like the LN that leans into the gun aesthetic, and so it gives up cargo to get extra probably modules or something and hard points and stuff like that, right? That's, you tell me if you don't agree with what I'm saying here. And then obviously there's one that's still like probably the cheapest, which is just the generic, which is half guns, half cargo. What's your take on that?
Well, I think the I'm just looking at that one, and there's something about that red one that just doesn't. It looks Aurora-ish, but to me it also doesn't feel Aurora-ish. Whereas I look at the,
well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because Pete was going through these emotions that you're going through too, and I was saying, but think about it, Pete. They use similar stylings of things that we already have, but then they also add a little bit of new. So this chair traditionally was a leather-based chair. Now it's red, and it's slightly different chair, styling.
That chair to me is a racer chair. I don't know why. That's the thing that just clicked in my head when I saw that chair. I thought, oh, that's a racing chair.
That is something PC brought up as well, is a racing variant, because there's a bunch of racing stuff out at the moment as well.
Right, and they're, you know, so they're pushing it. But the previous picture, that is, you can see that as a classic Aurora line. You've got the door to open the circles. You've got the bed, looks like the bed area at the back. But this one just looks too different, and it's too blurred at the back to be able to pick out the other things.
I do want to show this image here as well. There was a really cool, I've just got to give kudos to the person that did it. Find their name again, just give me a second. So this is by a gentleman on Reddit by the name of No Spirit 1733. He made this very cool hand-drawn version, and it is very close to what I think it is. So it's kind of like a Scorpius's wings on a squarish body. That's essentially what he saw is pretty close to what I saw as well. So I just want to kind of throw that out there, because it's a cool little visual aid, and I think he's done a really good job. And this is similar to what I'm expecting and what I've seen in the. You don't get to see it for very long. If I
nope.
I go back.
No, you see it for about 2 seconds, and that was the bit I was saying. If you've got more skill than me, you can see the ship.
I think it's right here, and I went through it frame by frame, but it's literally a blink and you miss it type of occasion.
Yeah, like you just did.
Yeah, hang on, I can go. You can go back frame by frame. So you can kind of see there, it's very Scorpius-like, and it's also very dark in here, but you can see that it's wider, and it's got a flat bed on the bottom, so it's definitely Scorpius inspired. It's also got those traditional Aurora wings. You'll also notice it's got like little greebly bits coming off the tail. It's also got you can see there's greebly bits coming off the noses. And
you can see, rather than being a fort, you can actually see the cockpit there as well. But the artist rendition that was done made me think Pisces rather than Aurora.
Well,
that to me really feels more like a Pisces than any RSI ship. The only thing that says RSI in it is the fact that it's got the round doors on the side and RSI written on it.
And the wings as well. But you got to remember, they're going to fold out. I think they've seen the VXMO, for those of you that...
The Dragonfly version.
Aurora wings. I think that might bring it up. Aurora wings, Star Citizen. That's it right there.
Oh.
This was made by VMXEO. When
that came out, the community went wild.
So I think that it's going to open its wings. That's why it's clearly got the Scorpius design. I also think that leads into the combat aesthetic. So you've got to look at it as like a combat ship crossed with a cargo ship. And if you look in the MFD terminal, it said light freighter, light combat or something for years. And it never really made sense. Now it makes a lot more sense. And I think a lot of people are going to upgrade to this. I think they're going to probably add at least $20 to the $45 price tag. I think it's going to be at least $65. I think that's where they're aiming.
Look, if they do that, that really does put the Aurora Mark II. I actually think it makes the Aurora Mark II as a totally different ship, and it puts it in 300i.
Is it really though? Is it really that different? I don't think it is.
Well,
think about it. All you're doing is dialing up what the Aurora already does. You are adding more cargo, more guns. It's the same role. It's just
the same role, but
dial it up by 10%. Whatever.
But it's the same difference between a 100i versus a 300i.
Yeah, and that's how it should be.
And as I was about to say, it's if I add $20, it pushes it into 300i category, whereas if 100 the traditional
that's what I think
is still sitting at 100i.
Well, that allows the Mark 1 to exist and have the Mark 2 as well.
Yeah,
because then you can have
the Mark 1 to continue.
An RSI starter and an RSI advanced starter. That's that would have been fine the whole time.
And that's where I was going with that. Like I think it'd be nice if they do that the Mark 2 becomes a 300i equivalent, and the 100 stays as kind of a 100i equivalent. And
there's other questions too, like did it keep the bed? Did the bed go for internal cargo space? There's a whole heap of little things in there.
Does the bed disappear for the combat version or a racing version, so you can actually make more? Or is a bed really advantageous for a racing? You know, if you're doing a 24-hour marathon, is a bed really cool for you because that means you can.
So people do have really good, valid questions. Like, I'm just going to cut this one at the front of the line because it's poignant and it makes sense. So, Socially Confused says, will the Aurora Mark 1 be retired like the Hornet Mark 2 were? Well, so that's a really good question. Is it going to be an Aurora replacement, or is it literally going to be we're going to have the Aurora Mark 1 and the Aurora Mark 2?
Yeah, and that's a question
maybe me and
we're basically discussing, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe me and you are wrong, Algared. Maybe it is a replacement. Who knows?
Look, I would really like not to see the old Aurora.
I don't think there's anything
be replaced because it's a classic. I don't know why.
Why would you do a gold pass and then retire it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They didn't do a gold pass on the old Hornet before they retired it. They just let it go.
You know, so. Yeah, I'd like to see the old Aurora stay. It is one of the iconic ships. It's one of the original 5, just like the Hornet was. So, hey, they did it for Hornet, they could do it to this. But yeah, it's that iconic look.
Citizen Ninja is right too. You've got to add another 15 on for a game package. So if it's 65, it would jump to like what, $80 for a game package. You're not wrong there, Citizen Ninja. Thank you for the good to see you, Daft. By the way, thanks. Right.
But
yep. Go ahead.
It is an interesting thing and thing to consider. But you know, if you look back at the Aurora has always been quite tanky. It was always as a fighting platform. It doesn't give out a lot of damage in its little gun, but boy, it could take a beating. And the only ship that came along that ever seemed to be better than it in terms of tankiness was, at least in the Bluebridge, was the Cutter. When it came out, it was the tankiest ship in its class. Yeah, which meant it surpassed the Aurora, which up until that point had been the tankiest ship of its size and class.
Well, the other thing I find a bit weird, right, is if we look over the last couple of years. So we had the Pisces come out, then the C8R come out a couple of years after that. We had the Cutter, and then the year after that we had the Rambler and the Scout. Right, so they've kind of been drip feeding us variants because they make more money. This is implying we're getting variants at the same time. You see where I'm going here? Like it's a. The only thing about CIG is how consistent about CIG is how inconsistent they are. I've said it again and again.
The only thing is, change will always happen.
But so that's implying to me that there's at least 2 of them coming.
Yeah.
Does that mean we get
or you've got that upgrade by 1 and then got that upgrade package to swap things around?
That's what I said. Yeah. So there's 2 ways it can go. That's you can see where my thought patterns have gone. Obviously, you know me too well. So I think. Well, here's the other thing. What if we get 2 variants now and we get 2 variants in 12 months?
Hey, anything's possible.
So, and I'm just going to throw 2 out there. So, say we get the generic one, and we get the combat one, and then in 12 months' time we get the cargo one and the racing one.
Yep.
You know, so that I think that it's kind of all part of the course, so to speak.
A combat one with the bed space, which can also be a slot where you put your bounty in that's in stasis.
Robert JT is saying that the red one's probably some kind of special edition. Look, I wouldn't rule anything out at the moment, Robert. We're just trying to suss things out. And as you know, you've been here as long as us, Robert. You can never kind of really tell how they're going to go. I think at the moment I'm trying to narrow the field, right? Whenever we're doing speculation, we're always trying to narrow that field to start to channel it and keep it in the realm of reality. And as you can see, with what me and Algared have said, there's a couple of different channels there. We've probably chopped off 50% of the fat, but there's still quite a wide.
There's still 2 or 3 ways they could go in terms of where they want to take this. So
I wouldn't rule out what you're saying, Robert. It could go any which way. That's the point. But I have to look at the track record of the last 12 months. Variance has been a really big thing. We know that RSI was leading the charge with modularity, with the Apollo. You take modularity, you put it into a smaller ship. Do you reckon the modularity goes up, Algared, or down? It goes up because it's quicker to do. It's just that simple.
Yep.
So this is the next step in modularity. Let's dial it up to 11, but on a much smaller ship. Yeah.
And look, I'm going to stress something we've said lots of times. Is it modular for us, or is it just modular for CIG?
That's it.
Every ship CIG build, I can almost guarantee you, is a modular ship in terms of the way they build it.
Yeah. So it really comes down to are they going to make it actually modular? Maybe a few things like the seats and stuff like that. Maybe some other things, but I think realistically, most of it is going to be variants. And they would have probably built with some of the customization stuff in mind, like they've talked about with the 300i series.
Yep.
But I don't know if we're there yet. But I would say out of all the manufacturers that could potentially be there, it's RSI. RSI is streaks and leaps and bounds of everyone else when it comes to the kit. So
I think they need a red cargo ship with an S on the side, and then it's a racer, and then it's what's that red S cargo ship go? Yeah, so a snail joke.
Boom. Right. I thought you wanted just a giant egg on the side.
Car joke. No.
Expired, like all the egg jokes about you, old and slow.
Yeah, I've heard them all before, mate. Heard them all before.
The egg snail,
including cone-haired and everything else. Done that.
I'm doing my part to try and give them ammo to help win that ship, the Peregrine.
Hi.
If you want to win the Peregrine, by the way, get on the Discord, go into the Rose channel and let Algared have it, or let the Peregrine have it, and you can do that. And maybe if we do a video this weekend, maybe I'll do the Saber on there as well. We'll see. We'll see if Algared behaves himself or not.
But personally, I think the winner of that competition would be one who actually roasts the Peregrine and me effectively both.
Ooh.
Intelligently, smartly, and cleverly.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's the one that makes me laugh the most. It's that simple. I would have just said there, I want to jabber laugh the whole time.
I think the one that wins would be the one that makes me laugh.
You need to check your sound. You're peaking really badly. You've done it 3 times in the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yep, so just so
sorry about that.
No, it's all right. But I'm more worried about their ears.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hear Algared peeking, that's what he does when he gets excited. He goes and just peaks. And
I try not to. I try not to.
I think what's happened now already is all those settings that we put in, resetting them, because it was all gone and it's now doing it again. So whatever we put in the update before I left, there was an update. So you'll have to go back in and do it again. Right, let's have a look at
joy.
Is there anything else that I wanted to go through?
Well, Ruger Blood Moon does make a point. A lot of times red has been used by CIG for racing, and I think that's probably why I saw that seat just said to me, "Oh, that's a racing variant."
Yeah, I can see that. But also yellow and blue's been used a lot.
Yep.
Yep. White and pink's been used a lot. Like you can see it all in the, not in this Gideon thing, but in the, where is it? In this thing. Look, you know, they're the racing kits they're going with these days. I would argue now red is more Mirai, personally. But I don't think it's really exclusive to any, you know, red go fast type of thing. And I think you'll get skins of every form and color when it comes to racing. I don't think it's going to be pulled into a color. You know, I think the first racing ships we saw weren't red.
Oh, the first one we saw was the M50 in red, but then you'll remember the interview. Was it the interview with
Gary Oldman?
I think it was the interview with Gary Oldman, and you had the M50 in the back, and it was blue.
Yep.
And it was such a gorgeous skin.
Yeah. So my point stands though, right? I don't think it's color agnostic. I think it's it's just a color. As humans, we love to see patterns, and sometimes we see shit that ain't there, and that's myself included. Not been anyone in particular.
We see what we expect to see, not actually what's there.
But
like
we probably can go through that really quickly. I did want to go through some of these skins actually. I know you're not a skins guy, but while we're on the skins, we might as well. There was one really interesting thing here too. The Emerald Connie no longer LTI. About bloody time, as far as I'm concerned. I think that was kind of interesting. The suit that kind of comes with it is a bit meh, and that's just to milk you for like another $20, which is really kind of sad.
I think the reason it's no longer limited is the fact that I think the last few times it's been sold, they still had Connie Emeralds left over.
Yeah, because it's just a green skin. It's, you know, a bit like that now.
Like unless you're getting LTI with it, like any ship that's $300 plus. If you're not getting LTI with it,
and then the only two new ones that kind of really interest me were the Star Kit ones. Again, I think this is a little bit plain. I might have to put one into buyback just to be safe. I did pick up a bunch of these ones though, and do you know why I pick up a bunch of these?
No, but they'll be worth money in the time. I don't know.
Because of the Saber Raven. There are not a lot of Saber Raven skins. And so that's why I picked up one of those. So because there's a lot of skins that are specific for one and not for the other, and that also works on the Raven.
And those pink skins aren't too bad. And what I do like about those skins that do appeal to me as a racing skin is the fact that you've got multiple different sponsors on the ships. On those skins.
You'll notice though that they don't actually have Star Kitten on them.
No.
They deliberately did not use it because it was too close to. I think you remember back in the day, you and I were talking that it was too close to Hello Kitty or whatever it was, and they were worried they were going to get sued or whatever. It is on the armor, right? You've got a very small head on the armor, but it's not on either of the bikes. It's not on the Saber. So it just falls off. Like, it's just a color. It just that's my only disappointment with it. Why doesn't it have that on it? And it just doesn't. So it just kind of falls off. The blue and yellow and the red. Again, this is all going to come down to personal preference. They had the Fury one, which is new, and they had, I believe it was the M50 that was new. This time around.
The Murray Cup skin.
So, like, I got no problem with either of those. Again, I would just buy a couple and put them in buyback and melt them off, just so it removes that limited access, as I always do.
What I'd love to see is not only do they do Murray Cup skins, but they do a System 7 skin, and they do a Crux Cup skin. With the advertising for the companies and on the ships to say, hey, this is racing. Like I look at the Crux Cup 24, and to me it resembles the Bathurst. So I imagine the slot curry type things all over it. I don't know what the Atmo Esports System 7 see theirs as, but yeah.
There's also a pattern here of the person that's in marketing open everything up for sale. You'll notice that. So they're things that were restricted before they're opening. Like now, all the skins are available. They're not in packs, or you have to buy the ship to get the skin. You can now buy the skin individually. I don't notice any new tuna paints there. I might be missing one. There might be one new one, but to my eyes, they're all been previous years. So. Yeah, they've essentially merged the racing skins and St. Patrick's Day together. Yeah.
No, one of the notes I did put down as I was looking at the Stella Fortuna stuff had been Stella Fortuna, good luck, and racing. That they seem to be merging that idea.
Makes sense.
And turning Stella Fortuna into an in-game racing kind of calendar event. And given that we do have Crux Cup running around the same time, and we've got Atmo Esports doing their event around the same time, there's two fairly race-orientated groups running racing events, which are fairly big in the community.
What was that racing for? Anyway, wouldn't it have been the RN or the RC? Well, is there literally a racing cyclone?
There is a racing cyclone, but
yeah, someone fucked up.
But it's that type of. I could see them doing that type of focus for the.
Oh, look, that's
for Stella Fortuna.
That's not limited either. That's good. All the razors. Okay, so again, why is this available? It's not it's military. It's not. Wait, have I mixed my razor? No, it is. It's the black one.
No, the XSC. The EXSC.
So some things fell through the cracks. Is all I'm going to say. Just a few little things. But I still think. Talk about this just real quick. The new Origin ship that's been floating. I think variant of this is my biggest contender.
Look, it's such a gorgeous looking ship. It's as I look at the 400i, it is. I've got to say, I think it's probably one of the best looking Origin ships. And I like the 890 jump, but there's something about that just gets you. Can't explain it.
Well, when you look at all the other Origin ships, they're not in the best place, and I'm talking about the large ones, obviously, right? You've only got 200, 500, and 700i left, right? And we know that they've got to do a whole bunch of commercial ships. I think they're all commercial ships. They're all kind of, you're going to need a swath of them. And we know they're on a variant trip, right? They're doing shitloads of variants. This thing is a 400i, and if you know your history of Origin, which Algared does backwards and forwards, that means that this is modular. Well, where the fuck are the other variants if this is modular?
Yeah, so the eye on them was always the idea that this is a variant of a ship, so or modular, and you could put the other bits in and bring out different variations. So 300, 100. They don't always follow that. Like that goes out the window when you look at the 600. But when you look at the packs for 600 and you look at the ships, you don't get 600 Explorer and a 600 Touring. You get the 600 Touring, and for the Explorer you get the module upgrade in the pack rather than a separate ship.
But you could do it
because it's.
You can essentially look at the 400i and you can go, well, what else can this do? What can you expand? Well, it's got customized cargo in it. So can you make a 400 435C? Can you make take the Explorer pack and make a 415P? And expand out the Explorer part of it. Can you do the touring part of it and you expand it out so it can take a bigger vehicle? you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know what that number would be, but you get my point, right?
For the P, I could easily see you give it better sensors, better ability to record, and
Yep, absolutely.
track jump points.
You know,
bang, done.
Maybe you give up some of the cargo bay to get extra sensors,
enhanced sensor suite, and but not just a sensor suite, but a jump point tracking sense. You know, one that tracks the jump point so you can record it and do that type of stuff. But, I can see that.
But out of all the Origin ships, this is the most current one, and knowing they're on a variant trip, I just can't unsee that. It makes the most sense to what they call a new ship isn't really a new ship. Let's be honest. Like last year, we had 20. I think it was 21 new ships or 24 or something like that. Only
24
7
new ships, and I think it was like 7 or
it was
6
only it was only 7 that were actually new. Of those, you know, so almost 3/4 of them or 2/3 of them were. And yes, to CIG they can call this a new ship, but really it's reworking an old one and it becomes a variant, right? And I think that makes the most sense to take this ship that is predominantly already done and modify it. It also, think about all the onboarding tasks. We haven't really done an Origin onboarding task.
No.
It makes a lot of sense to do this as an onboarding task. So someone knows how Origin works. Doing a bigger ship so multiple people can work on it and learn the Origin styles. Like, it all lines up, you know? We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and it's just the way CIG work. I'd like to see variants of a 400i, and I could see them doing that just because it's popular. It is a very, you know, as a ship scale, it's a good looking ship. It was one that was very popular.
Again, I wouldn't rule really anything out. I'm just gonna look a really pie in the sky one, 450R. Totally see that in this ship, right?
Yeah.
So don't rule anything out. Just look at what Origin does and what they've done, and then even go, you know, look at gameplay they're working on right now, right? Scanning, cargo, data running, all those type of things, and can any of those fit? I wouldn't rule them out. By the same token, can they not come back at a later date, Algared, when they do science gameplay or medical gameplay and make a 600i module or a 400i module? So you see where I'm going.
Okay.
So these are ripe. You can see that across the whole myriad of ships, not just Origin. That now, as they come back, if they have variants, they can come back and they can go, right, we want to do X. Right, this is in the game now, so here's a module for this. Or, but like you and I said with data running on the Hermes, maybe they just went, they fully intended it to be modular, but because data running wasn't ready, we'll just hold that back and we'll sell the modules at a later date.
Yep.
Who knows?
To do that? No. Nothing they can't do there.
No, nothing they can't if they want to. It really comes down to choice.
Yep. Digable in YouTube says the G12 would be an onboarding task in his opinion.
Agreed. You are correct. Yes. No, you are correct. Yeah.
But when I was speaking, when you were sitting there at CitizenCon talking to Elliot for a while, I was floating around talking to people, and I was, how do you get, you know, and finding, you're a staffer. Okay. The number of staff at that first meeting was legendary. But I thought, what are you in? And it's, I'm on a shipbuilding team, or I thought, what was your onboarding task? And that onboarding task went from full ships to the pilot controls, to the gear stick, to literally the control handle that's used on a ship, but so it was a whole plethora. So
and then you take
G12
that
to a ship, to anything.
Yeah, you take that to the next level though. If you are specifically a ship herding and you're wanting to learn a style, right? Because we obviously have all those style guides. Eventually, you want to, like, if you're only going to ever work on, say you only work on Aegis, Anvil, and RSI, well, then that's all they'll ever get you to do. But if you want to spread your wings, you're eventually going to have to work on everything, right? And at the moment, when did this come out? 2022, 2021, something like that? Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of guys that haven't ever worked on an Origin ship.
Could you see a variant getting life just because someone decided to play around with a ship in their spare time and build a variant. Just taking a ship and say, oh, let's see, can I do this? And then CRG looking at it, yeah, that's a good ship. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. So again,
Yeah,
I think this also implies that there are more Origin ships coming. They'll do this as an onboarding task, and then you'll probably see something new. Think about it, right? If you're bringing people up to speed, are you going to go straight into a whole new thing, or are you going to let them put their toes in the water and dabble?
I think you would you'd get them to put their toes in the water and then
so in a way, I think
them onto a new,
can you see how,
new ship.
And you can see how something like this would be better than going straight into a G12. G12 is all new. This is, I can see what I'm playing with. Let me do the same thing in Play-Doh. You know,
the other thing with the G12, if the G12 is just a ground vehicle, whereas this is a ship. So yes, they're the same in terms of assets in the game, but the way they operate is different. So yeah,
I am excited to see more Origin ships. I've been, a lot of people think I hate on Origin. I just want them to make good ships that make sense.
Well,
and
I think it's the same for every game company manufacturer that does a ship or does an item.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited to see anything they bring out, but like you, I want it to be good.
Yeah. And the same thing,
I want it to have function.
The same thing, by the way, while we're talking about this, right? Them going back and making a variant of this, that just makes them better prepared to go back and work on the 600i rework as well. So it's the same thing as in, like, you know how we always say the longer a ship takes, the better they are? It's the same thing with the rework, right?
Yeah.
If you want a better 600i work, let them cook. It's just that simple.
Yep. Let them play around and delve deeply and expand the library of stuff and think about ideas, and then go in and work with your baby, and your baby will end up looking. So yeah.
All right, let's have a look at. We got any questions? Oh shit, I've got a few. Holy shit,
yeah,
I've got quite a few.
Got a crap ton of questions. Crap.
All right, so you can go through and
Zorgal.
Yeah, delete those Nightbot ones if you want, Algared. I think half of them are Nightbot. We don't have that many questions,
Zorgal
actually.
Says,
you go through and read it.
That's good. That's good.
Yep.
Not Nightbot gives us the whole spec. But Zorgal says, what new features will come with the Aurora Mark II since it's bigger? More weapons? Or something more general purpose, like the Clipper?
Well, I think we kind of went over this, but long story short, I'd see it kind of in line with the Aurora is, but step up into advanced. I think that kind of covers it generalistically, but we did kind of go over it. So you'll notice advanced starters tend to have a bit more guns, a little bit more cargo. What is it, dialed up by 20, 25%, 10%, somewhere like that. And then, so just picture the Auroras you have, and then kind of just change the look slightly and dial it up by 10 to 20%. I think that's pretty realistic expectations. And I think they'll obviously trim some of the fat, like the LX and the ES will probably go. Or have I got my acronyms wrong?
No, some of them will disappear, I think. The ES, the essential version, I tend to think the essential should have been the base one we were sold. Because it was the essential, the base chassis.
Yeah.
And then all the other variants were the modules or things we could have done.
Yep. If I had my time again, I would just have one Aurora and a bunch of upgraded attachments. I would never have sold 5 variants. I would have just had one and go, here's all the little shit you can buy it upgraded.
And the original was, as you know, it was, these are what you can, here's the Aurora, and these are the upgrade packages and the things you can add to your Aurora to turn it into this module. And you get that when you look at the original Aurora ad. And it was, there's lots of Auroras, but this one's mine.
Yeah. And I think that modular front thing I'm talking about, or obviously the front, but also the interior, I think that leads into that, Algared. That's the next level up. If you agree with me, I'm not sure. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, look, it was one of the things that we talked about a long time ago when they talked about the Connie changes. And they were talking that modularity for the Connie. And the community went, oh, that means I can get the Aquila nose and put it on my
What if you could?
My Taurus.
What if you could?
And you could, but they wasn't done for us. That type of modularity was done for CIG, but it'd be so good if you could.
Yeah,
You could
really,
so you
really
could
would.
customize your ship and swap between the parts. You know, maybe it would be you've got to have the parts in your hangar before you can actually do it. But
it sounds simple, but the other part of that, right? The reason why the developers are scared is you can save a preset, right?
yeah,
Because that's essentially what they are. They're kind of like a preset, pre-configured ship, and I load up my Aquila, and it loads up the Aquila, right? But as soon as you want to modify it, they then have to design a back end to allow you to switch it all over, right? And that back end then also has to have an interface.
That becomes a nightmare.
And that's where it kind of goes out of proportions very, very quickly. And that's why they don't want to do it, because it makes more work for them.
Fully get it. Fully get it. The second you can have your Aquila as, you know, version A, B, D, and I can have mine AC, whatever, you know, in terms of parts.
Essentially,
it's a nightmare.
Essentially hex codes of ships. Yeah, I get what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it becomes a nightmare of storage and recording and even damage states. And I know when they did the original breakdown of Economy and they did the different heads and necks and that was so they could actually do the damage states for each of those parts. So theoretically, yeah, you could do it, and they made it so all those parts would link up to each other. So you could swap them around. You could change them, and it would work. But gosh, it would be a nightmare in terms of storage and recording and the chances of things go. You know, if something goes bung, it's a lot harder to repair and fix, I would imagine.
I look back to last year at the Golem. Right? And the Golem was one of my favorite ships of last year. I can't not look at this and kind of get excited for it. And I know a lot of people go, oh, it's just a starter, right? But starters are such an important ship. It is the first ship that people are ever going to have. If you can take yourself out of it, yeah, it's not as exciting as a Perseus or, you know, a Javelin or something really big like a Kraken. They are a gateway drug to this game. They literally are. And I sit here looking at this, knowing what the cutter looks like, the quality of things like the Avenger that have stood the test of time, you know, 315p. There's very few ships that have come in and broken that mold. And it's usually the ships that are half combat and half cargo. And that's exactly what this is.
And the other thing that did used to annoy me with the Aurora and the Mustang as starter ships, and why I think the Cutter and the Pisces are much better starter ships. What is the key selling point of this game? You can get up, walk around your ship.
That's it.
Fly around, get out. What do you do on a Mustang? You basically, even though yes, you can get up and get out, you are basically the ship because to get out you leave a ship. The Aurora's in the same boat. Yes, there's a little bit of walking space, but it's essentially the same thing. The Cutter, you can get up, you can change your components, you can do stuff in the ship, you can. It turns it into a minuscule version of the bigger ships where, I can walk around and do stuff.
Real quick, Mike's just asking about how the giveaway is being done on the Discord. Right, go to the Discord. There is a channel called Roast. You can roast Algared or you can roast the Peregrine, and the one that makes me laugh the most will take the crown. It's that simple. You got former comedian, hard man to make laugh. So if you can make me laugh, I've only read one so far, and I got a grin. So you know that's the man to beat. Algared didn't do any work while I was away. He didn't stay abreast of things, so he's getting punished. And obviously they gave us Peregrine away, which was Sergi's big mistake. So, you know, take just out a bit of them. Why not? And I might even up the ante and add another ship in there. We'll see. Might give a second place. I might give a second place or something like that. We'll see. If there's some really good ones in there, I'll leave it to my discretion at this point. We'll see what happens. So. Don't make me fucking slap you, right? Right. Still got your thing, by the way. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can show the Aussie slang. You can imagine what that says. Hang on. I'll see if I can get it to. Wait. If I put my
Yeah.
finger in the middle, if I put my finger in the middle, you can work it out. This is what he gave me, guys, when we met up. That's what he gave me.
Yep.
What an ass. No, I love you. Thanks very much. Here you go. Europe. Yeah. That's what he did. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Right.
All right, that was question 1.
Yeah, that's question 1.
That was question 1.
Next one.
All right. I can see we're going to be on a roll today. Okay, so this one is in the same vein. Rabbit SC says, do you think we'll see a racing version of the Aurora Mark 1 or Mark 2 with the fold-out wings?
How many RSI racing ships do we have?
Well, 1, because in the Crux Cup we have the Aurora Classic.
Yeah. But it's not officially a racing ship. Do we have a racing labeled RSI? No. And that's why when I see this red seat and people going, oh, it looks like a racing seat, I kind of go, yeah, press X press X to fucking doubt, right? That's kind of where I'm at, right? To me, that screams combat, not racing, right?
Yeah, look, that's just the old brown luxury seat in red.
But never say never. I would also add that as well. And let's be honest, RSI being the longest serving manufacturer, them not having a racing ship, kind of a bit blasphemous. So and absolutely could see it.
If I understand correctly, the first jump points was discovered using, a guy using a ship with a RSI jump drive, quantum drive and stuff.
Peregrine is ages. Nick, Peregrine is ages. What would it be, with the moniker? RC? So like an Aurora RC? I'm assuming the closest thing I can think of is the Tumbra one, RC, so for racing.
I would think RC, that makes sense. You got the Essential.
Clipper.
Essential, Marquee, the MR, the Clipper.
What's the Marquee?
Cargo.
Marquee's combat, isn't it? It's like the MR.
Yeah.
And then
Marquee is combat.
What was CS?
That's kind of
CS.
There's no CS.
Wasn't there an Aurora? Wasn't there an Aurora CS?
No, ES.
Or am I mixing it up? Okay.
ES for Essential, MR for Marquee, LN for Legionnaire, LX for Luxury, and CL for Clipper.
So it'd be Aurora LN. I got that bit, and the Aurora Clipper, and then you an Aurora ES, or just call it an Aurora. I don't think where they're going.
Yeah, the Essential, then the Marquee, which was kind of a
Stella Fortuna is not a racing variant; it's a skin variant. I can see where you're going, Full Nelson, but technically, there's no official racing RSI. Is what I'm trying to get.
I was going to say for P72, but that's not an Aurora ship.
Actually,
it's a ship we get with.
It's a Kruger.
It's a ship we get with the RSI Phoenix, but it's a Kruger.
That's the closest we've got. It's adjacent.
Closer we've got the Kruger.
It's like they've all gone around and gone, yeah, we kind of want to do racing, but yeah, we kind of forgot. So yeah, maybe there's a racing one in there. Absolutely, I could. It's about time. I'll leave it at that. Without going too deep.
With fold-out wings, it'd be cool.
Yeah, really
if it's a Mark II, it'd be cool. But yeah, I'd like to see some racing skins for the Aurora with all the different manufacturers and sponsors all over it.
Here's a question for you. Mark 1 skins working on the Mark II.
Not if they change the look significantly as it appears in the stills, because it's totally different frame and shape of ship.
I think they will. I think they'll honor them, especially some of the older ones like the Electro Hull and stuff like that. Because by the way, the Electro Hull's still not in.
I don't think
it is a different chassis. But they never essentially planned to sell the Mark IIs. And look at what happened with the Hornets. The skins work on both on the Hornets as well.
I think they'd redo the skins so they'd work on them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe they redo them and if you purchase them way back when, you get both. Or maybe they do sell them again. I don't know. But it'd be nice to see them work on.
I'd sell them again.
Yeah, but you're an evil maniacal overlord.
Yeah. Well, I'd make them so.
This is why Algared is not in charge of marketing. We would all be under a dictator regime.
No.
I would be the freedom fighter, the rebels. I am Luke Skywalker. He is Darth Vader. It is confirmed. That's all I want to say.
Luke. No, sorry, I gotta do it. Sorry, I gotta do it right. Gotta do it right. Nah. Execute. I'm your father. So,
die, motherfucker!
Nobody wants her controlling marketing.
Right.
Now, like what I was saying is, I'd make them work, but I'd sell them again. With a whole host of people who don't have those skins. Yeah. Let them buy them. If they want to buy them, I'm happy for skins to be out there and for people to be able to buy the skins. And I've got most. I think I've got all of those old skins from back in the day because you'd buy them because they were.
Yeah. They were cheap and.
So yeah, I'd make them. I would make them so they work. I hope they would work.
But I also see them. I also see them going up in price. Like so, the Electro Hole skin, you and I got it for $5. But if they sell that for, because it's kind of two skins in one, I would say maybe $15. But most skins, what are they now? Like around 9 to 10. See where I'm going? Because the Electro Hole is a weird one. It's a weird one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would really hope that it worked the way. They originally said, where you kind of, it puts up one and you could flip between the two.
Yeah, but I don't think, I think it was worded way too vaguely. I think you're literally getting a blue skin and you click a button and it turns on electricity on the outside. I think that's what you're getting. From what I can see in the images on the Mark 1 rework. Yeah. But I don't know if I can go back and...
No, I know what you're talking about. It does make it look like those images of the skin just make it look like, one looks like it's powered up and one looks like it's not. And is when it's powered up, is it sending up a different signals that it's actually different, it's different registration or something like that, or is it just electrifying the whole, a bit like Nemo does with his
there's some Nautilus. Those jetpack things, some people are speculating that they're new modules like the radar, so it could be a thing. I'll give them that. Yeah. I think there's a big question mark about what they are, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to sit here and argue with people, but I'll take everything on board. In
that same video where they talk about where we got a sneak peek where they talk about the MTC or whatever that little vehicle was, which I thought they'd already sold.
Arcane Danger. That's not how you do the giveaway.
Yeah,
because we're doing a custom giveaway. So he's just done exclamation giveaway. If you wanted, you got to go into the Discord and go into the Discord.
Find the roast.
And the roast channel. I just call it roast. And in that channel, you roast Algared or the Peregrine, and the one that makes me laugh the most wins. That's simple.
Oh, you can roast both.
You can,
stick at one.
But if you make me laugh about myself, well, good job. But chances are I won't, and chances are you'll lose. Because I'm picking this one, not him. He is ex-gay communicado. He is dead man. He is being punished for not doing the worko. That is that's what's happening to him.
He's rude. That's all I'll say. He's rude.
I tell the truth. I'm a truth seeker. I search for knowledge and I find the knowledge and I mold young minds more than the teacher does that should have been learning while I was away. No matter how you look at this, Algared, you're in the wrong. You stuffed up. You were lazy mofo, and you should have been. I should have come in here, and you should have been doing all the talking. You should have been telling me all about the ships and everything. Everything.
Sounds like he's doing a bad James T. Kirk impression.
Maybe I don't know. Is that what happens when I get? Maybe I turn into James T. Kirk. I don't know. Maybe I'm a robot. I don't know. We'll see. But point noted. Okay.
Anyway, Zorgle has a new question for us. Another question.
Yeah, go for it.
Question number 3. Since the sneak peeks came out, he says his question is useless because the sneak peek's come out. No, your question wasn't useless.
No, what was the question? Go for it.
It says, oh, well, my question is useless since the sneak peeks come out. No, it's not. They weren't useless. Because we had a great discussion. Even looking at those sneak peeks of the Aurora, we still don't know. And it still raises a whole pile of questions.
It's a weird one to have when the Aurora Mark II is just around the corner, to be honest. I just see this little thing, and that's why I thought jetpack. But like, again, it could just be a ship module.
Oh well, when I originally looked at it from a distance, I thought, oh, it's modules for a ship. But then
there's no branding.
When you zoom in, you say, no, it's not. It's not a ship module.
Where's
it's
the
not like a cargo. It's a.
Where's the branding, Algared? There's no branding.
Yep. It's I think it's jetpacks or modules for Titans.
You can't tell me that does not look like some kind of
no, that looks like a fuel port.
Exhaust
or a port or something like that. Yeah,
the port, the back engines, similar to the MSR and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, these almost look like they're designed to stop whatever this is from hitting the ground, right? They actually look like you know when shock absorbers. That's what I'm looking for. They almost look like shock absorbers. These ones on the outside, they almost look like thrusters. So this is your main engine, and these are your thrusters. So it gets you off the ground, and then the main engine kicks in. They look like jetpacks to me.
When you said it, I realised they weren't parts of ships or modules for ships. On the first glance, you know, you look at it and I go, okay, jetpacks, and I think modules for the Atlas. We already know from the Geo the sections that look like you can actually pull them off and swap them around. You know, and we did speculate, there's a scanner variant, you know, whatever, and yeah, I could see those being different things, and even a jetpack for a standard Atlas would make.
I know some people are saying that these are really big. I don't think they are really big. I think they're really tiny. People are saying that this is in the center of the AeroView hangar. Yeah, but look how small it is, and look at the gaps between the dots. Like, there's nothing in the background. This shows me that they're really tiny, not really, really, really large.
Yeah, they're on one little square of an AeroView hangar.
They're like the tiniest little thing you can get. So again, no branding.
Yep.
They both come in the same color. One clearly looks like a large backpack. The other looks like a small. Right, implying modularity depending on your armor size. That is clearly some kind of. I just realized they can't see if I don't go here. Yeah. So that is clearly some kind of ship port like engine thruster, and then these are smaller little thrusters like you see on ships. I can't not see a jetpack.
And what you thought were
did they just announce? Sorry, Ruger Blood Moon says, did they just announce EVA backpacks? I can't remember, but they have talked about them in previous years. I have been away for 2 weeks. I would ask Algared, but he didn't do shit, so he wouldn't know. Algared, did they announce? Did they announce EVA backpacks, Algared, while I was away?
No, not that I heard. Above my head, right there, is a light that they're saying use for scale. That little doobie there's a light on the hanger pad. They're saying use that for scale, so it gives you an idea how small they are. Well, I could see them being modules. The what made me think for the Atlases was the fact what you said looked like the things to stop you hitting the ground. To me, looked like clips to clip into something else.
So again, I have to look at the thing, right? And I think the word modular in the sneak peek is the thing that's throwing people off. Some challenges require a more modular approach. I think it's the word challenges you need to look at. What is the challenge? Well, getting out of a ship and getting to the ground. A modular approach, well, you've got different sizes of armor, so you've got to have a different size jetpack. If you think about it, you're not going to have the same size jetpack for every single person. You're going to have a different sized one. So that lines up to me. I think people are getting caught up on the word modular and hearing modules.
Yep.
Just me.
I think you're right.
Because mine fits the words challenge and it fits modules. Tell me how challenge fits into modules. when you talk, if you think these are modules, what do the other words mean? Just fluff? I think they've deliberately done it to throw people off. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yep.
Maybe I'm
They
wrong.
could look. Could they be modules? Yes. But if they were modules, I would expect branding on them.
And tell me why there's an engine exhaust and 2 thruster exhaust and 2 shock absorbers on them, because that's what they all look like. Why are they the same on both modules, right? And I know you're going to say, oh, because they're 2 different size modules. Cool. But now explain why it's got an engine port on it. I've never seen a module with an engine port. Have you, Algared?
No.
All
Look, I think that looks like an engine port. I've got to admit. I don't think they're shock absorbers. I think they're clips. That's where they're the clips that lock it into the suit or whatever. But, you know. And
look at kind of the sleek wing that's up there above your head. That almost looks like a thing you would see on a jetpack, right? This one's a little bit thicker, a bit more industrial, I might say, like a heavier suit of armor.
But even that one, even the bigger one, has that kind of little wing at the on that top edge. You've got the little black, above the little thruster. You've got this really small wing type thing.
So people keep saying they're really big. Not to my eye. To my eye, they're really, really small. I know my AeroView hangers and textures. These are tiny. So show me how they're really, really big. Shut up, Pete. This poor Pete's here. Right. Show me the scale, because to me they're really tiny. They're not really large. This is just them in a really, there's no. Where are the lines? If it was in a hangar, I'd be able to see the hangar. Can't see the hangar, right? So it's really zoomed in, really close in. Yeah, they're just backpacks.
I think that, yeah.
Until I can see someone prove the size of them to me, I'm going to go with that they're jetpacks, because that's what my brain's telling me. But hey, we're wrong, or I'm wrong, or whoever's wrong, we admit when we're wrong. But I do not know of a single component in the game that has an exhaust port on it, like an engine. Like a
the only one that I can think of, which we don't have in game yet, would be the escape pods on ships. And Pete raised it. I could see that being the case.
And how many years have we been asking for jetpacks?
Yeah,
I haven't been asking for more modules. I've been asking for jetpacks.
No, but
everyone has.
Lots of ships do have the escape pods. So
true.
Wouldn't you escape your ship in?
Wouldn't an escape pod kind of be in line with a jetpack? In a weird way? You put it on a person and then you put it on a pod. Person, you control it round. You don't need a UI. You don't need anything like that. The next step up is to have it in a pod and it has a UI and you can control it. So it's the next step up. So this is literally a leapfrog to escape pods.
And, some challenges, you're in your ship at going down.
Yep. How do I get out and survive?
How do I get out? It's a modular approach because it's a...
Yeah, well, if you're Drake, this is your only option.
If it's Drake, you get in your suit, and you run out the door and you jump. But yeah, look, guys, it's not my point. I was taking it from what Pete had said in chat. But
what did he say?
It makes sense. He said, good point, might be escape pods. And I said, look, I picked Pete had said it. He may have said it as a throwaway, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, if they're really big and they're escape pods, yeah, okay, I can see that. Yep, I'll give you that. Yep, escape pods. Yep.
And
I'm on board. I'm on board.
And it does.
Yep,
it does tie in with what we've been doing with ships and making the time to kill and all that other stuff as well.
It explains the absorbers. It explains the thrusters. It explains it. Yep. Okay. So we're down to jetpacks and escape pods. I think we can agree. Do we agree, chat, that they are the 2 most likely candidates? Let's drop the modules. Escape pods, jetpacks. I think that's where we're at. Somewhere in that.
Yes, Pete, you did a thing.
Yeah.
Good work.
Good work.
Good boy. Good boy.
And you say you never contributed anything. Bullshit. Get in here and talk to us.
Yeah. See?
You don't, Robert, you don't have to be on board for jetpacks. All we're saying is we always try to narrow the field, right? We don't try to rule things out unless that there are things that just don't add up, and modules just doesn't add up because of the reasons we stated earlier. So yeah, jetpacks make sense, and escape pods make sense. Yep, I can see both of those. 100%.
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
And now I look at the top one, yeah, I can kind of see that almost could look like a door. I could almost look at the other one and I could see that could kind of slide down. Yep, absolutely. People said they look almost RSI in nature. Absolutely. What, one could be the bad bit you get on the side. Yep, I can see it all.
Yep.
Explains why they have
No.
big shock absorbers on the bottom, because if it's if it's landing on the surface, it literally is going to hit the ground. Even it makes even more sense than a jetpack, quite honestly, now I think about it. But yeah,
I could see people using escape pods as almost landing nails.
yeah, closest thing we're going to get to them anyway, aren't we?
Yep. Anyway, that one's done. Malemba says, do you think the Mark 1 Aurora will be discontinued or will both sold with the Mark 2s being an advanced starter? I think we answered that one. I hope they're both sold.
Agreed.
Socially Confused comes in with a question as well on the Aurora. The Mark 1, he says, will the Mark 1s be retired like the Hornet? I hope not.
I don't think so.
And Lingerall says, I'd like to show you an app I made. No.
What is he?
He said, I'd like to show an app I made for Fleet. CCU optimizing. Can I DM you and link it?
Yeah, you can DM one of us and we'll look.
But it's not a question, so.
Yeah. It's fine.
DeJocko, with a sneak peek today, do you think they are any closer to seeing ship modules for the Caterpillar?
Ooh.
When I first saw it, DeJocko, when I first saw that sneak peek, my initial thought was, it's a central entrance and the corridors, etc. And it was only as I looked closer that I said, no, it's not modules for a Caterpillar. But that was my initial thought. But I don't think they're modules for a Caterpillar. I don't think they're modules at all.
I think he's asking, is it closer? I think the Caterpillar is a very complicated ship because it's got the elevators, it's got doors, and it's got modular pieces all in one area. It's going to be one of the ships that they come back and work on more towards the end because it's a sum of its parts problem. Yeah,
it is. I've often referred to it in the past as a mini
Endeavour.
Endeavour.
Yep.
Because it's got the same idea. Like the Endeavour's got the modular parts and the big. The Caterpillar's got modular sections as well.
Mm.
And the same problem you have with the Endeavour with modularity is exactly the same problem you get with the Caterpillar with modularity. And so maybe slightly less with the Caterpillar because you can make the outside look the same, but you've similar problems. So yeah, it'll be one of the last things they come back to, I think.
Yeah. So I want to just go back to this really quick, right? To kind of show you that there is a variety of escape pods. It looks like they've worked on a lot. And again, if you're going to have a escape pod, you're going to need almost a different design for every manufacturer. Do they have unique escape pods per ship? Are they the same for every manufacturer, or are they different for every single ship? And I'd almost have to go with, we've got bed-like ones, we've got stand-up-like ones. So I think there's going to be at least a couple per manufacturer.
Well, we do know there is a luxury version of the 8-man escape pod because it's in the 890 jump. And that escape pod is exactly the same pod in size and dimensions and everything else that is on the MPUV.
Yep.
It's just an up class, nice, comfortable seating. So yes, you could get a luxury version of an MPUV by putting that luxury module on the back.
So as you can see, if this is the first one we're getting, there's a lot more to come. So yeah, big things.
Yep.
Big things if that's the case. Right. Next one, please, Mr. Algared.
Next one. Yes, we have seen the sneak peek. No, we don't think it's modules for an Aurora Mark II.
Nope.
and we've just finished discussing what we think they are. Does anyone know, this is, hang on, my eyes just couldn't focus on that, on his name, it's Donnie. Donnie says, does anyone here know what modules the Shiv is supposed to have? No.
The Shiv? Just the standard kind of run-of-the-mill modules. It's got nothing really special, unique. I guess we could pull it up if you really want to go into like a deep dive into it. But Star Citizen Wiki, and I'll bring it always over. And here's the wiki, and you've got all your modules here. So you can see avionics, size 2, civilian radar, cooler, life support, power plant, self-destruct, shield generator. You've got all your propulsion, all that. So if you want to see all those details, just go to Star System Tools and search for shit.
I am so glad CIG did move away from that idea where they said certain ships could only take certain grade, Drake could only take civilian, they couldn't take. So cheesy. But yeah, I'm glad it's just the size component that kind of limits us.
Well, it's finally good that they got around to doing metrics. It's what 15 years. It's I've been saying it for years. Anyway, they got there.
It's good to see we finally broke away from the Imperial.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, the metric system. Welcome to the metric system.
I love the fact that the Americans love the Imperial system, and everyone else loves the metric system.
I just couldn't get over how when we're driving around in the UK and they were all using miles, I'm like, what the fuck? Get to them. You go some places and it's like they chose where they wanted to use it and didn't. It's just like this complete bastardization. It's just like, we want to use it here, but we didn't want to use it here, and we want to use it here, but didn't want to use it here.
Well,
and I'm just like, oh my god, my brain.
I think the elements where the English deliberately didn't use the metric system because it was imposed by Napoleon. So Napoleon is responsible for taking the metric system and applying it, weights, volume, distances, etc., etc. So yeah,
I've had about 6 people link me different images of it hanging out. Yep, cool. I'm on board. They're not modules, but I do think I'm pretty convinced now they are escape pods. Right? I think they're escape pods. Where I'm at.
Okay.
You convinced me. I don't think... Well, for ages people were saying modules. I guess escape pod could be seen as a module, but they're escape pods. It's really obvious now, especially with the shock absorbers on the ground, because they've got to land on the ground. Jetpacks are going to land on your feet. So, process of elimination, jetpacks go out the window and it becomes escape pods. It's pretty simple. So again, that's why we do speculation, so we can weed through, cut things off, talk backwards and forwards, and see what jumps out. And that works both ways. This time you guys convinced me that it was a escape pod and not a jump pack. So yeah, you did well. I already had a look at that one, but thank you, Daft. Yeah.
Just right, you don't win anything if we're wrong. You get the kudos of knowing that we were wrong.
No. It's always a search for the truth. Doesn't matter who's right and who's wrong. It's about finding the truth. Algared does it as well. We will freely admit when we're wrong. It's about getting to the truth. There's too much information now for us to sit here on our high horse and go, we are right, you are wrong, we are the gods, pray to us. Like, look, it's not going to happen. We're not that type of people. We're flawed. You tell us we're flawed, and we'll freely admit it. But we will until we see that proof. And it wasn't until someone said escape pod and I started ticking, and I went, oh, yeah, they're right. You convinced me. That's a compelling argument. Being able to change someone else's mind, and you guys just did that. Normally it goes the other way because me and Algared know a lot, right? But if we're wrong, we'll say we're wrong, and you proved it.
And it's not a matter of are we saying yes, they're 100% escape pods? No, we're saying based on what we can see, what makes sense. What makes sense of what they're saying to us, what makes sense of what we're seeing. And then we're just taking a stab in the dark, just like you guys. And as we discuss it and talk about it, we go from modules to jetpacks to escape pods, and we go, yeah, that seems reasonable.
And anyone that's been there in one of those sessions, not everyone's been there. We probably don't do them as much as we used to anymore. But man, if you agree to having your mind changed, if you agree to being wrong, and truly try to take on board what people are saying, some real gems, real utter gems come out of some of those conversations, and they are some of the most amazing conversations I have. And I don't just mean, like, they teach you life skills, right? How to get along with people, how to talk with people, how to banter. You know, that's, look at it now. Me and Algared used to be these throats all the time, and as time goes on, me and Algared are more jovial and more jokey now, you know. But then the heat will kick in summer, and we'll be like this again. You know,
when it's hot in summer, you'll see us change because the heat just kills us.
Especially when I'm around.
It cools off.
I become an utter monster at the sales because of lack of sleep deprivation as well. And I've sat there and I've warned people. I've said, just don't say anything. You're gonna get your head bitten off. And it's happened to really quick. The last person it happened to was Lentz. He's probably not around today or watch this in the future or whatever, but Lentz, he went too far last AIE, and I was right, I'm out here, fuck you, Lentz, and I was going. I just left because he just kept pushing, and I was like, back off, I'm about to fucking fall apart. But that's just how it happens, and you know, again, that's probably, maybe that's a side of my maturity, instead of actually kind of reaching out and screaming at him, I just left. Is what it is, you know, all human at the end of the day, working through the same problems we all. Right. Next question, please, Mr. Algared.
Rabbit, citizen. 425A, luxury high-tech bounty hunter. Soon?
5A would be combat focused. It wouldn't be data driven. We don't have any acronym for a data driven origin.
Bounty hunter. So I can see where he's going with the combat aspect there. So yeah,
I'm going to be honest. I think
I would say no.
Combat luxury is now the domain of Kruger. I think the 25A's days are very done. I think in hindsight, they never would have done a 125, a 325.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think they're phase, you know.
They work at the low end.
I can see them doing them.
They work at the low end because they don't really scale that high, so it's okay. But I think as soon as you get in the domain of, say, 400, 600, 800, their combat's defense-based. It's the flying, say, for an analogy.
And it wouldn't be a 425I, by the way. It'd be a 425A or a 425B if it was a bounty. I could see.
I like that.
I could see.
What, a 444?
Yeah, I could see the 400 as a bounty variant because you've already got those climate-controlled cargo areas. So they become your stasis pod storage units, keeping the stasis pod cool and whatever else. I could see that. Will they do it?
Just realised it'd be a 445 because they're all fives or rounded at zeros. So it would be a 445 or a 440. Yeah.
445B.
Yeah, 445B.
I can see that.
Yeah, but yeah. I don't really see luxury bounty hunting. I would also put that under the domain of Kruger because it's combat adjacent now. Could that be the Stingray?
Yeah. Look, in terms of luxury, it's really just high end.
Yeah.
Sleek lined and high ends, and Origin and Kruger, I think, in terms of the way their language is, sleek lines, high grade quality, they're very similar, but one is more
focused and one is more old school luxury focused. But I would also look at it this way, Algared, and tell me if you disagree with this statement. Origin is defensive and Kruger is offensive.
Well, from what we've seen so far, yeah, I could see that. And you look at that 400, 400's got its rear firing. You know, its crew turret is really a rear firing turret. It's for as you're running away, you're still peppering your enemy. So yeah, I could see that. But yeah,
That doesn't mean anything, Robert. Robert, that doesn't mean anything. An Aurora in a hangar and the modules in the hangar doesn't mean anything. You're connecting dots that don't exist, my friend. Robert, if you're right, I'll come out and say that you're right. But right now, I cannot connect those two dots. I'm sorry, my friend. I just can't do that. Look, I'll show everyone, but I think you're wrong.
Yep.
Right? This is what he sent me.
Okay, the Aurora's in the hangar, yes. So
what?
And there's a little light.
By your analogy, this ship is white. They're blue. Oh, they don't connect.
But I just think, you know, you look at the light next to the Aurora, which is highlighted in the picture of the images to say, hey, yeah, we're in the same hangar. Yeah, we're in a hangar. That's what you take. But what you do see from that light is how big those modules things are.
Doesn't explain the engine, doesn't explain the absorbers, doesn't explain the thrusters. I'm telling you, after what other people saying, these are escape pods. It is 100% the most logical thing. They have absorbers for hitting the ground, they have thrusters for maneuvering so they can land, and they have a main engine that holds the thrusters that goes down. And they kind of look like beds.
They do kind of look like beds, but if my concern would be, given the size of that light on the thing that Robert sent, they're not, whether they're smaller than beds, but yeah. It's...
Ash, just trust me when I tell you. I'm just going to tell you, without going into all the details, if you want to go back and watch, because you just turned up, they are escape pods. Right? I don't want to go through it all over again, and I know, Ash, you'll listen to me because you're not insane like some people, including myself. They are escape pods. We thought they were jetpacks, and everyone here convinced us that they were escape pods. So just trust me, we were wrong, and they were right. They are escape pods. And I know you just came in late. So yeah, make it pull. All right, fine. Fuck it. Let's do it. Right. It's the only way we're gonna get this done. Whole time. Right, let's do it. So we got three options. Modules, escape pods, and jetpacks. Right? That's what we're going with. All right, here we go. So, what is this week's sneak peek? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this. But anyway, it's fine. It'll solve the argument. Here we go. All right, so jetpacks. Escape pods. And then what was the third one? Modules. Let's call it modules. Modules. Right, and then I'll do the same thing on Twitch. And I'm going to copy this over here. And I'm going to copy this over here. And I'm going to copy this over here. And I'm going to copy this over to here. And we'll do 3 minutes. 3 minutes and starting poll on both. And give me your answers. We're off and racing. Let's see what we got here. Right. We'll rate this a little bit coming in. Twitch is insane. Okay, cool. Twitch is... You all think they're modules. You guys are fucking insane.
Hey, they might be right.
Wow. You are fucking crazy.
I look.
That's right. They saw the word modularity and assumed it meant modules. No, I disagree. That's fine. Yeah, we'll be insane. All right. This is what's going to happen.
We'll all be insane
next week, or whenever it comes out, someone has to do an apology. So either now Aaron and I will do a written and read apology, or someone from the Robert, it's you. I'm picking you, Robert. You're going to come on and you're going to apologize to me and Algared. That's what's happening. That's how this is going to go down. Either we're apologizing or you're apologizing. You did this, Robert, so you got to put your money where your mouth is. That's what's going down, bro.
Ma, you are so correct. We are all insane because we.
Yeah, we are all insane. We are all insane.
I look at that. I look at that image that Robert sent, with the two, and the thing that sticks out to me is the light on the hangar floor,
Yeah.
Which gives you scale. And as I was looking at
No.
the
Okay,
Aurora,
so just hang on. They're saying escape pods are modules. No, they aren't technically. No, they're not.
no,
They are
they're
an
a
escape
component.
mechanism. They're not on all ships. They're not a component. They're separate. Right? So if you've done modules because you think that, now I'm going to do another poll.
I wouldn't say
Right, I'm going
escape
to
pods
hang on.
are modules. I'd call it a component rather than a module. But that's just me.
I'm going to cancel both these polls. I can't cancel that one, so I'm gonna do it again. All right, because now I feel people have taken me on my vape. What is this week's sneak peek? Right, and so first one is jetpack. Second one is escape pods, and then the third one is module,
And the fourth one is none of the above.
but not escape pod. Okay, that's the clarification, right? In case people double their vote. Now, how the fuck do I cancel this one on Twitch? I gotta wait. This is the most insane thing. I think I feel like I'm going insane. I feel maybe me and you sit in this little bubble, Agrid, and it's just this little bud of bubble of sensitivity and makes all sense and comfortable. And then you see people are like, no! Right, going again. Done. And give me your responses. Right, see if that changes at all. I don't think it will, but go again. Right, just so we clarify, because we've had this happen before. Yeah, it's very close to what it was. All right, so people just think it's a module. Okay, cool. All right.
Oh, it can be. I've got no problem with
that's
it being
where
like,
that's where I'm at, Parker. By the way, Parker said if all ships had escape pods, I'd consider them components. They're not. I should have put it as a component, not as a module. That's what I should have listed. I should have listed it as a component, not a module.
Escape pods are a component. Like
Then they say
it's a part of a ship. But they do say
this modules goes.
Some challenges require
hang on,
a modular approach.
but modules mean implied like a polar has modules. So they're thinking it's something that connects to the Aurora that gives it extra thrust. That's what they're implying. It's something that slips onto the outside and modifies the Aurora to give it extra engine stuff. But then what are the shock absorbers for? No matter how I look at it, I can't not see escape pods. I'm sorry. It just doesn't add up.
I'm going to echo Zombie Bombi and say, let it go.
Oh yeah.
Let it go.
Feel insane. That's all right. All right. Well. All right, Robert, get your speech ready. I'll get mine ready.
And you'll both do them. Yeah.
both be wrong. Yeah. I don't see it, man, because they've never had anything like that before. We've never had an external module for it. If you're right, you're right. But it doesn't explain the other parts on it.
They're bed covers for the new Ute. So the Traveler Ute.
I'm gonna fucking slap you. I'm so fucking gonna slap that. All right, we've got a couple.
Look, anything's possible, Pete. That's the truth, though. Anything is possible.
This is the most we've gone so far into the weeds is fucking ridiculous.
This is that point where you go where you usually say we need to avoid.
Yeah. Like type thing. We'll let this run out. It's got probably 20 seconds left, and then we'll leave it there.
You know what served you with the sneak peeks. They give us just enough. So you can hang yourself. Yep. They do it all the time.
I think I can hear your old woman in the background, Agrid. She's complaining.
No. No, that was a magpie or a crow.
I meant crow. Yep. Brains are here. Right. Right. Okay. Next question, please, Algared.
Donnie says, an Origin ship with a crafting table may be Origin's answer to the Clipper.
I did think about that. A generalist ship from Origin in a 400i body that's for 3 people makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think we talked about that a while ago.
We did, you and I did. And I kind of brought it up too. If you're going to have another generalist ship, you make it a variant. What's a really good variant? Well, we've got the low end in the Clipper. We now need a high end.
Yeah.
3-person ship sitting there in that makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
Got just enough space on it to have a fabrication table and a medical bed.
Indeed. I could see it. Would be very nice. And it makes sense.
Yep.
So
I never say never.
It gives a module for it gives a variant to a popular ship hull.
Yep. I think it kind of lines up to
yep.
You know, we know that they said there's a generalist coming.
Yep.
And then 3 people, it kind of makes sense. You can't really go down because one person is already at a medium ship, but you can go up to a large. Well, what's the smallest kind of medium large type ship? Well, that's the 400i. It makes the most sense. And even like there's multiple places where you could put them too, because you've only got to put in tier 3 bed and a fabrication table. That area in the middle would has the climatized cargo, would fit a bed.
Yep.
That would fit a fabrication table, leaving the entire cargo bay area complete for cargo for fabrication. And you've still got all the living quarters and all that are all nice and luxurious for 3 people.
Fancy and stuff. So yeah,
real simple, real elegant. Pop it over. Don't know what your number would be. 475, whatever. Pick a number, whatever they want for fabrication, the number to be. And boom. Done.
55 fabrication.
Will it be
455?
A 455? Yeah, whatever.
455 fabrication. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
or something anyway, isn't it? 455F. Yeah, it almost writes itself. What a mouthful! 455F. Wow.
Yep.
Oh my god! Yeah, I can. I can. Oh my god!
Just to screw with people. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. That's the name.
On a fabrication module. They'll do one at 455F just to.
The writers would hate that, but I could see John Crew and Ben loving that. But yeah, oh my god.
I could see them chuckling away.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right.
Okay. Citizen Ninja. Do you think the standard Phoenix will also stop being hull limited and get a CCU like the Emerald?
No, because that's a physicalized thing versus a skin. Whole physical chip.
But
the Emerald...
can't you buy the Phoenix Emerald at the moment? And if you can buy the ship at the moment and it's not limited, then the Phoenix, base Phoenix, theoretically should also be available all the time.
Not necessarily, because they're 2 different ships. One's a Connie and one's a Connie Phoenix. Yeah,
Connie Phoenix. So
you're talking about a skin. You're talking about a skin versus a ship.
Is it? Yes, but is it when you look at the sale page, are they selling the Phoenix Emerald as non-limited, or is it just a skin? If they're selling
remove the skin, what is the ship?
Yep.
If they're
selling the Phoenix, if they're selling a Connie Phoenix Emerald, it's always been a Connie Phoenix Emerald. Never just been a standard Connie. So if it's a Connie Phoenix with the green skin that is being sold without being time limited, without being hull limited, then why cannot a regular Phoenix without this green skin on it be sold unlimited? I get what he's saying.
I get what he's saying, but I disagree. I disagree, because the one is a luxury rare ship and the other is just a standard ship with a skin.
No, the Phoenix. The Connie Phoenix is the emerald. It's a Phoenix emerald. It's not just a Connie. It's not a standard Connie that's emerald.
Are you trying to tell me that
emerald?
Are you telling me
my
that
emerald is a Phoenix?
Hang on. You telling me that they are selling a Connie Phoenix emerald? Oh, they are too.
The emerald has always been a Phoenix. So if a Connie Phoenix in the emerald is no longer time hull limited.
Yep.
And why wouldn't a Connie Phoenix be?
Yep. I get what you're saying. I didn't realize it was a Phoenix emerald. I thought it was just a Connie. My bad.
No, it's always been the emerald.
I now understand what you're saying. I was wrong. You are right. I'm just tired and confused. Yep.
Yep.
And there is no Connie?
Nope.
Interesting.
No, the Phoenix is the only one that's ever been the emerald.
Where is it up here? Yeah. Okay.
Because you would need good luck and good fortune to have the luxury Phoenix.
That probably
means,
is,
I think, why they originally did that.
It probably means that the Phoenix is going to be available in the future. Absolutely.
And I think that, I know originally it was like 400 a year they were making available, and I think the last few years they haven't sold. They haven't sold out.
Yeah, because they're in a bad place.
And so you don't need to make it hull limited, because
just for those that are wondering why I'm saying that I'm tired. Yeah, that's why I was holding my head, because I was literally trying to hear Algared word for word in case I wasn't listening to what he was saying. And the context that I was missing was this part.
Was Phoenix.
He went somewhere but didn't tell me the first part, and he does do that sometimes. And that's why I was going, is there something I'm missing? And then it wasn't until he said, but what they're actually selling is this. Then I went, all right, now it makes sense. Yeah, sometimes he misses.
I thought I did say Connie Phoenix Emerald.
Or that was the part I didn't hear, one or the other, right? Like, and I was like, there's something I'm missing here, because he keeps repeating himself, and I'm like, I'm missing something. Yeah, but that's the part I was missing. I just assumed they were selling the Constellation Emerald, not the Constellation thing. But my bad. You were right, I'm wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Short version, yeah, absolutely. That probably means they're going to sell the Phoenixes in the future. Absolutely.
And I think the reason is they used to say there were 400 a year. They haven't been selling. They haven't been selling the 400 a year. We don't need to have it as a limited ship. And, so yeah.
Yep.
That would be my take. Or it's an error that they've made. Wouldn't be the first time.
Can you actually... Here's a question for you. This is actually really important. I've just realized. This is now... This is what I'd be doing.
Could I take my skin off?
No. This is the really interesting one. Because if this is possible, this changes everything.
Do an upgrade.
Can I upgrade to it? Because if you can upgrade, that means you can get a Phoenix with LTI.
And that.
And you can. And you can. That is fucking amazing. That is, I'm probably going to buy one. Because
that is worth.
Because now I can just go, Andromeda. And look how expensive it is. Holy fuck.
Yep.
That's cheaper than they were originally sold at. That was sold at $125. And these things were rare as fucking hen's teeth. That is the news story. Right there. That is the news story. And if you don't want to spend cash, obviously, so let's be tight and go here and delete all these and go, we are tight motherfuckers and we don't want to give CIG any money at all. $10. And then I can do the rest for credit. Get in my cart. Buy like 5 of those, bro. They are, well, again, it probably implies that it's going to be that way from now on.
Look, and given that's an upgrade to it, that I think does say it's certainly not hull limited anymore. Because
100%.
So, and I would say that's the same.
Yep.
Can you see if the regular Connie no, the regular Connie's not available. Connie Phoenix wouldn't be available at the moment.
No.
So you won't be able to.
But why would I want the Phoenix one when I can get the Emerald one?
Oh yeah,
It
true.
comes with, because like it's just a skin. You get the skin
Yep.
for free.
It's
Take the skin,
get the
bro.
skin for free and get the
Yep.
green one, and everything else the same. Would I upgrade a Connie, a standard Connie, to the Phoenix?
Yeah.
That's a harder call, because the Connie, the standard Andromeda has better weapons.
The Feather Claw saying it's not Warborn, so you don't even need to put in cash. You do if you want to sell it to other people, though.
Yep.
And that's the type of thing, right? If that's as rare as I think it's implying that they're going to be open all the time now, right? Right. So the Phoenix is just going to be fairly available to everyone. That's the thing, the feeling I'm getting, right? And if that's the case, then yeah, that 6 months time from now, it'll die off. But I'm telling you, when they first released the Connie, right, they had a CC. It was only available at the very first time, and it was never available again. And it was $135, and I remember people having them, and they were selling for like $500 a pop, because people didn't want to buy. They wanted a Phoenix with LTI, and the only way to get it with LTI was to upgrade. And so the only way you could do that was to buy this CCU, and they were more rare than the Phoenixes themselves, because the Phoenix. So most people that have a Phoenix, they have one without LTI. So you know what's going to happen? Everyone's going to melt their Phoenixes that don't have LTI, buy an LTI token, and then upgrade. That's and I'd be doing that, because you could also put other CCUs in and bring the price of the Phoenix down.
Yep. If you have a Phoenix, this is the story. If you have a Phoenix without LTI,
buy one of those CCUs.
Buy one of those CCUs,
and then wait for an LTI token like the UTV or something like that, and then start building the chain back up. Yeah, and
you'll end up with credits in the bank.
Yeah, you'll either get it at the same price for LTI, and if you're prepared to wait, you'll get it even cheaper.
Yep,
that's the news. So and I'm going to be honest, we'll probably chuck that in this week's episode of whatever it's going to be, Algared, because that's pretty big news.
Get lucky, getting them wrong. But yeah, that is definitely.
I just want to have get lucky and a picture of Algared going.
Yeah,
I got lucky.
Now.
I had great time entertaining for 2 weeks. Algared went for 6, so he's got more stamina than me. That's all I'm gonna say.
You are so rude.
What do you mean so rude? You're entertaining. You're a funny guy. What do you think I'm implying?
What you usually imply.
Why are you so red, Algared? I don't get it. Why have you gone this Joker shade of red?
Yes. One of these days.
Yeah, keep trying. Right. Next question, please.
Yeah. I can do thumbs up anytime, mate. Citizen Ninja. Don't need to clip it. But yeah. Where'd we go? Rabbit SC has another question. Could you see an Argo Origin crossover for a luxury mining or salvage ship? I hope not.
Sorry, say that again, please, Algared.
Could you see an Argo Origin crossover for a luxury mining salvage ship?
No. Origin would not dirty themselves. I don't see Krieger doing it either, to be honest with you. I think that's the kind of distinctual thing, right? You gain all this high-tech advantages of being in the luxury area, but you lose the industrial part. And then when you're in the industrial part, you lose other things.
No, I think you're right. I could see Kruger.
That would be the one exception, actually. Robert's got it. If they did a Grey's Origin ship. Absolutely. Yeah, a Grey's Origin, like a 600i mining variant. That'd be pretty funny. Yep. That'd be the exception.
Taking the hull and kind of gutted it and ripped it apart.
Grey's as a manufacturer is really interesting because it can just break all these rules. That's why Grey's is so interesting. Yeah. That would be the exception.
The hard one for me is when I think of the origin of the 600i. The original story behind it, because it was just a cargo. It wasn't luxury. It was just a cargo ship. Yeah. No, that was not me topping up my drink with a fresh dash of whiskey. That was me just topping up my glass with water. That was all. Sorry, Sangroper. But yeah, I
wanted to get water.
could,
That's been sitting there for 2 weeks. Little stale, but it'll do. I'd
Yeah.
rather have stale water than none at all. So, right.
yeah, I wouldn't see an Argo Origin crossover for mining, luxury mining. No, I could see Argo for. Well, there is an Argo Origin crossover. It is in the MPUV.
I want to go back now for the demo. No, I don't. So this actually looks pretty cool. I don't know what it is exactly, but this is the thing that he wanted to show us. So it actually looks kind of cool. Place a ship, Freelancer Dur. Oh, so it kind of it allows you to lay it out, and you can kind of
then do your map of where your CCUs
apply a
go.
CCU. So let's go. Nope, that doesn't work. I got to go something above.
A Connie Phoenix Emerald.
Where is it? I don't have one. Drag the CCU from the sidebar. This is the CCUs. Freelancer to Constellation Tower. So we go. And okay, I see where he's going here. So this kind of this is something that I have been looking for, because it allows you to do it in a fleet sense, not just, you know, when you go into CCU Hangar or Hangar Link, they only really do one ship at a time. This guy's done it so it does it for all of them in a fleet view. Drag the expression back to the sidebar. So
instead of just doing one ship at a time, you could have your fleet and then be playing around with your ship fleet and seeing what you're doing with the ships in the whole thing.
And look, he's even set it up so you can do packs.
That's good. I like that.
Where I went to. Hey, got it! I bet you little motherfucker. Okay, it doesn't want to be moved. Drop the CCU of the Freelancer. So the ship has a CCU badge, allowing you to apply. Drag the CCU badge. What? Okay, that was the demo. So maybe I've got to go into the full thing now. But that's interesting. I'll have to have a play with that. Yeah, it is interesting. I'll have to have a play and go through. But it looks like you've done a pretty good job. I'll have a look at it further after the show, because otherwise I'm.
So to go back to the question that Rabbit had about an Argo Origin crossover, in a sense there is an Argo Origin crossover, and it's the MPUV. Because the escape pod on the 890 Jump is the same escape pod module that is on the MPUV-P. So you swap that module around and you've got a luxury MPUV personnel carrier or transport.
Actually, I think Sergeant Perry's saying cheating on Grim. Actually, I think you'd find Grim would find that of interest. He's like me. Like, we're always looking for things. I've even said to, I talked to the guy at CCU Game. I've talked to Scarlett that made the one on Hangarlink, and I've both said you need to design them to do fleets, not singular ships. And that guy did it. That's a lot. The reason they didn't want to do it is it's fuck ton of work, and he's done it. So again, if you could take his work and back-end code and cross-reference it into the visual nature of, say, something like Hangarlink. Just saying. I can't see your name because I'm in streamer mode. We'll have to set a meeting with you and Grim. Because he'll want to hear about it and fold you into the team if that's something you want, or you can keep doing it on your own. You do what you want. But I like the idea of the community working together to make this one-stop shop. I always have. It's why we've got Space Tomato, Astropub. You know, Grim is pretty much an Inforunner by everything but name only at this point.
Because we keep dragging him in.
Yeah, keep dragging him in. He just doesn't want that tag. But he is pretty much at this point. And it's going to take a village. And that's what I've always wanted to build. A community is a village, and it's going to take. This game is too big. You just can't have one person cover all of it. It's just not possible. And so we've been bringing in different people that do different things for a long time. You know, Space Demand
A
obviously doesn't.
Grimford runner. Yes, he's a Grimford runner.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, Paul doing all his law stuff. You know, Space Demand are doing a lot of the onboarding and the gameplay stuff. You know, Loken's doing a lot of streaming. We all have all these little different areas, but then we've got all this crossover, and we all just help each other because it works. You know, someone needs a guest, we're there. No need to be adversarial. This game is big enough and ugly enough to cater for all of us. So just keep doing it. And it's in our interest to do so. Yeah.
Indeed. Veritan says, if Origins have series up to 600 and then jump to the 800, what is the 700? Whatever they want it to be.
Oh, wait, I'm going to do it backwards because...
Yeah.
That's backwards. Question mark, man. I think theoretically, if you look at the... I'll bring that thing up, Algared. Give me a second. You know what I'm talking about. Yep. We call it manufacturer.
The quadrant thing. Yep.
What do I call it? Yeah, this thing. Open with... Put it on the right one. I did, right? So you can see here, this is taken from an episode they did on the Saulian a couple of years ago, and this was showing the different design guides. So you can see all the different manufacturers and where they sit. Now, Origin is halfway between high design and commercial. We don't have a single commercial ship from Origin because they're shops. So if they are so heavily influenced by luxury, and that's all the luxury ships we've got, well, you've got a 200, a 500, and a 700, I'd say they're all shop ships of different sizes. You know, one might have 4, one might have 2, one might have 1. Thing like that, right? And you add that all together, that makes a lot of sense. There was an original concept of that me and Algared, what was it, Algared? The concept 890 jump J Mall, was it? Would that bring it up, Algared? That's probably the closest I'm gonna get, isn't it?
There were pictures of the 890 jump looking down from the atrium, and you saw the shops.
I know it's here. I just got to find it. That's it there at the bottom. That one at the bottom. I'm just trying to find it on its own, but it's not going to come up. Is there another one of it? Yeah, there it is. That's it there. So this is one of the original concepts. Oh God. Opening. Is it going to be tiny? Yeah, close enough. Right. So you can see that is a shopping mall on an Origin ship. And so what me and Algared theorized is that's what's become the Banner Mansion Man. Roughly the same size, same concept. You put an 890 jump and a Banner Mansion on top of each other. They're very similar in size, very similar in cargo count, stuff like that. So they essentially expanded it out into its own ship. But,
yeah, I think it's the 890 as a Banner Merchantman group. I just, that's what it's going to.
Yeah, they couldn't fit everything into the 890 jump frame. It just had too much, and it still to this day has too much going on.
Yeah,
I think it would have been nice to have 1 or 2 shops on there though, but do you really need it for the VIP transporters? So they do separate into separate things, and Banner are very luxury as the aliens go. So
I think as time goes on, it does have 2 shops. It's got a restaurant and a bar.
True, I will give you that. Sir.
But it's not shops in the traditional sense that we have them.
I'll give you that.
So yeah.
So yeah. Long story short, so that's what I'd expect the other ships to be. Shop ships. At least 1 or 2 of them, if not all 3 of them.
And I could see all 3.
Yeah.
Like you said, a 1, a 2, and a 4 or something like that.
Well, if you've got the 300 series, I think the 200 series is going to have to be something like a medium, because the 400i is technically a medium masquerading as it's the size of a large, but the quality. So you're essentially going to have like a medium sized ship, and then that'll have 1 shop on it, right? So that's got to be the 200 because it's the lowest number. 500 goes up to something like under the size, like a Connie size, the size underneath the 600i, right? And so I would say two, maybe three.
Yep.
At best.
And then the 700 goes.
And that's probably what the 890 jump would have been. And we've got, what, 10 shops on a Banner Merchantman, so 6, 8 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark, right?
Yep.
And that all lines up because you want luxury restaurants, clothing, other things like we know that fashion's going to be a part of it. Are they going to do hairdressing, salons? You think of anything that can fall into high end.
Oh, even when you look at medical, like I talked about, I thought the 890 jump be an excellent medical ship. But they also talked about getting having your face changed to
What about
to avoid being picked up by people?
High-end antiquities, all that type of thing, art, all those type of things that are just really high-end. A Rolex watch store. Can you get a Microtech gold bling watch store? A trading store that's really high-end. You can start to think of all those really high-end luxury things. They work on the Banner Merchantman, and they would work on that. And then you've also got the human versus alien component as well.
If I recall, you can actually go to Origin in their main place on Microtech. You can go to Microtech and you can actually buy different coloured
you can
maybe glass things.
But what's the step above that for the luxury people, like a diamond encrusted one or just insanity? Can you literally go to a high-end plumbing store and buy a diamond encrusted toilet bowl for your colours? Or Shiv and get a gold diamond encrusted bucket? Does it go that insane? That's the... I don't think so, but could it? Yeah, if they wanted it to, they could. It's just how far they want to take it. How crazy town do they want things to go? And that's... I don't think they will go that far, but they could. We'll see. That'd be pretty funny, though. Imagine that as a pickup. Can you imagine that? Oh, I'm in my Shiv and my diamond-encrusted bucket, and I was just taking a shit and I got attacked and I lost my bucket.
Yeah, cleaning a diamond-encrusted toilet would be hard.
And that's why it's your job, not mine.
No, it would never be my job. I wouldn't. If it was a choice of that, I certainly wouldn't get one.
Look, my shit stinks less than yours. It's just a fact. Right, next question.
Citizen Ninja
you walk
says,
into these like landmines every time, man. You're just too easy. Right, go next one.
Citizen Ninja says, most importantly, when do you think the new Origin chip will release? When they're ready?
I think they implied in the first half of this year. I think it would have to be after Invictus. There's probably an event coming up. We'd theorized for a while that there's a potential for them to add a third sale as well, because you obviously can't have one in the down period of Christmas around at the start of the year because people are on break and stuff. But there's no reason you can't have one in July, August. They created Invictus, right? Well, then what do? You naturally create a more industrial focused sale that's in the middle there, and it solves all the problems. It gives you a third sale. It allows you to sell a shipload more ships. And if you do the math, we have 27 ships this year, right? That's 5 per sale, which is 15, and that still leaves 1 per month. How are you going to sell 27 ships? You need a third sale. There's another 5 ships from last year. How do you up those numbers? The only way to do that is to have another sale that sells 5 ships. And that's the only thing that makes logical sense. To me, anyway. I could be completely wrong, right? But I'd be willing to bet money if I was a marketing person going, well, you had this sale, you made one on the opposite side. Well, the only gap left is here. Let's make another one there and sell even more ships. Because your big sales are when you make all your money. So let's just make another one. Bang, done.
Yep. Let's put another sale to sell ships of a different class. Yep.
So yeah,
Oh,
and you had
yeah, that
military.
one.
You had military and combat. You've now got salvage and mining coming in. You're gonna have all these other industrial things coming. All these other gameplay things. If you've gone on such a niche of military, what's everything else? Industry. Just is it just a commercial? Is it just the civilian defense force sale or whatever? Do you know what I mean? What would you make the opposite of military be, Argrid? Civilian? I guess you could just call it civilian.
Yeah. Well, we've basically got a sale for civilian / racing at the moment. You have industrial, military, run of the mill.
Oh, that's a good point.
Generalist.
Too. Zav's picked up something. They didn't do it in case you missed it sale this year. Peru.
I thought they did. I thought there was a in case you missed it.
Guys, chat, did they do it in case that you missed it sale this year? Yes or no? I don't remember there doing one.
Yeah. Mike says they did. I thought they did.
They did. They did, didn't they? They did. Yeah. Okay, everyone said they did. So you're wrong, Zara. And I'm wrong too, because I thought you were right. Yeah, clearly your sound settings have all reset, by the way. I just heard you drop your pen. So you're gonna have to go through all that again.
I heard it when I clicked it earlier, so
yep. Too easy. Well, we'll go through that.
Yeah.
Before recording tomorrow.
Malemba. With a Caterpillar and Ironclad sharing a similar command module, should we CCU to an Ironclad or keep both ships?
Really tough.
It is a tough question.
And I've struggled with it myself.
And what makes me struggle with it is the fact that the Ironclad is not modular in the same sense that the Caterpillar's always been said to be modular.
I think the Ironclad is ripe for variants, personally. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. I think there's another
well, we've got a variant for it already.
Industrial ship. By the way, this is just proof they did do the in case you missed it sale. There it is. That was it from this year. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, PPP. Remember that. Yeah, so Ironclad versus Caterpillar. I've just gone and got both, and I'm just hanging on to see what that Caterpillar does, because I've got a feeling it could still be really, really cool. It could get a massive rework. It could get. Let's put it this way: whenever they rework a ship, Algared, in your experience, right? And I already know the answer. That's why I'm asking, because I know what you're going to say. Do they make ships worse when they rework them, or do they make them better?
Implying the answer is they always make them better.
Yeah, they either increase in size or something like that. So if you've held on to a Caterpillar that long, do you think it's really going to come out exactly the same, or do you think they're going to make it bigger and fix it, and make it all fucking amazeballs? They're going to fix it and make it all amazeballs, and that's why I'm holding on to it. It's the same reason I've held into things like the Starfarer, because that's got to go back and get reworked, and you can tell that that's probably going to get amazeballs as well. It might not, right? But then again, I got it for $175, and it's now worth $340 or $300.
Yeah, it was always my problem as well. Like you look at a ship and you go, yeah, I really need to cut down my ships. But you look at a ship and you go, I know where this ship
could possibly
is set to go and could possibly go. So you hang on.
And it's only those older ones. I don't tend to do it with new ones. I only do it with the really old ones. So Caterpillar, Starfarer, Crucible, Endeavor, they're all those type of old ones that you and I have just held on to.
The ones you know have got to grow and change and that.
And there's no reason you guys can't do the same for $10. You can usually pick up a CCU and just sit on them, right? We bought them outright because we were back in the day.
Crazy.
Back in the day. And we also got them from ridiculously cheap. Like I think my Caterpillar was like, I'd have to look at the price now, but like what was it, $330 now? I think I got
originally,
it for like
I think it was
$2 something.
Yeah.
I'd have to go. Man.
I think for the longest time they were $350. And then when the Dragonfly came out, you basically got it for that price with I think 2 Dragonflies kind of chucked in. So you could bring the price from way down. It was
a minus $245, and it's a pirate edition Caterpillar.
Yep.
So at $250 for a pirate edition with LTI, rare as hen's teeth. And why would I even want to get rid of that?
Yeah.
And it was upgraded from a P72 original concept Archimedes. So well, here, look, I can just rather than talk about it, I'll just show you. There it is, right there. But you can see there it's a Caterpillar Pirate Edition. So, yeah, rare as hen's teeth.
Daft, did you ask a question? Did you get the T-shirt? No, we haven't got it back yet. It was signed. They were signed. There were 2 T-shirts. One was a Crux Cup T-shirt that we got signed, and one was the
the big guns.
Bring out the guns.
Yeah.
And that was signed as well.
Algared as he sees himself, I like to call it.
I don't think I've ever seen myself like that, but yeah.
He wishes. He wishes. He dreams. He dreams. I know some other person that would dream about it too. She will remain nameless.
She probably would.
I'll have to ask her. That's pretty funny. Oh, I just found this too when I was looking back through some stuff. This is the sorry, this is a little off topic, but it relates to back to something before. They're the skins for the Auroras, by the way. That's the Electra Hull skin I was talking about. See how there's 2 of them? And so I think what's going to be is when you turn it on, the one on the left here has electricity on it. This one doesn't. So I think this will be the default, and you just turn it on and it'll have electricity go along the outside of the ship. I think that's all it's going to be at the end of the day. Sadly. Not like what they worded it like. Yeah, well, you could take it every which way because of how vaguely it was written.
But yeah, I used to like and I know people bought it with the idea of, oh yeah, I can flick a switch and then people aren't going to know that I'm running that ship or those colors. And
we did go through and read it, and you can take it like 10 different ways. It's kind of sad. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Next question, please, sir.
So Donnie gave a clarification to a question he asked earlier. He said, I asked a question about the Shiv because of a loadout screen for the Shiv on the Moby Glass.
Ask the question about context is a beautiful thing. Next question.
So it goes back to his question. And the next question is Parker's. Parker said, did I miss talking about the AMD Galactopedia edition of Anvil?
Context is a beautiful thing.
He's talking about the Galactopedia, the encyclopedia we've got, and he's saying 2 editions. I thought AMD was already on the Galactopedia, as I thought Anvil was as well.
Accelerated mass driver. Which is what. Yeah, they're probably just.
I thought both of those were already on Galactopedia. If they've been added, then I'd missed it because, as far as I knew, they were already there. So context is a wonderful thing, Parker. If it's stuff I've missed about that, then sure, I'd love to know. Dejoko, second last question.
We've only got 2 questions left, and we've got half an hour to go. So if you want to get a question in,
well, okay, man. And we spent so much time on that first question. I thought we'd make it easily. But no, you guys let us down.
Actually, we got
clearly they thought we spent so much time that we wouldn't get to their questions, so I didn't ask them.
All right. Yep. So 2 of those questions were kind of not. All right. We've only got 2 left. So yeah, if you want to get some questions in, we've got half an hour left. Otherwise, we can wrap up early, which is fine by me. I will. Yeah.
You'd love to get some sleep, I'm sure.
I don't think I'll sleep. I think I'll. Actually, I do have something we can talk about real quick while we're waiting for a question to come in. I went to the movies yesterday.
Yeah.
And I saw Project Hail Mary. I really enjoyed it. Like, yeah, I've seen 2 good films. So also when I was in the Philippines, I took the opportunity to see a Pixar movie called Hoppers. Pixar movies of late have been horrendously bad. This was really good. I think we might be back. Just saying, I think we might be back. It's taken a couple of years after COVID for it to do the full loop, but I think the movies that are starting to come, a lot of the bullshit is being taken out. I think they're seeing sense, and it usually takes a couple of years to move through, but I think that message has been heard loud and clear, and I think we might be back. I was, it's not like from a movie from 2000s, it's probably like an 8 out of 10, but considering the movies of the last 5 years, it's a 10 out of 10 thing. Like, it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Really good stuff. I'd put it up there on par with, say, Interstellar. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same film, but I would say if you like Interstellar, then you'll like Project Hail Mary. You'll if you know enough about sci-fi, you'll see why I've picked that one specifically. They're not exactly the same. They tell different stories, but there are some similarities. Did you watch Interstellar? Have you?
I did watch Interstellar. I didn't really enjoy Interstellar as much. It was a bit, but I've seen the shorts for Project Hail Mary, and I'd like to go see that.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. It only came out yesterday here in Australia, and I just got back. I didn't want to sit down at the PC. I kind of wanted to get out and have it, so I went out and had a bit of lunch, and then I sat down in the cinema. There was me and 2 other people in the entire cinema, and I watched it, and I was engrossed. There's some parts where it draws out. It's kind of same as Interstellar. There's parts that draw out, but then there's almost got that harmonica thing going where its timing goes a little bit off and a little bit on, but that happens with sci-fi. But I really liked it. Really awesome characters, really awesome story. The characters make the entire film. You can tell the whole thing was filmed kind of on a budget, but it doesn't feel that way. It still feels really big and epic. Like, I bet you it was cheaper to make than Interstellar by hands. Hand over feet, or whatever you want to call it. But really good film. And I think Ryan Gosling did a really, really good. So, yeah.
Yep. So Parker did get back.
Yep.
He says that according to the Galactopedia, AMD and Anvil are in bed. They're actually doing a collab. So,
did he send you a link?
Nope, no link. Check Galactopedia page question.
Parker guy, fucking useless.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking useless.
I know.
Don't do anything wrong. Was it AMD? He lied to me. He lied. There is no result. What did you say the other one? Anvil. Flying sack of shit, this Parker guy. He's crap. Oh.
But maybe not.
The company has also partnered with spacecraft and concept to provide exclusive parts. What? We're getting another AMD ship, boys and girls. Ooh. Yeah, that is exciting. Ooh, what would it be, Al? Could it be an AMD battlecruiser? Ooh.
Well, because they do components. Oh no, they do. Yeah, they do components because they partnered with Consolidated Outland. So could it be a censorship?
Well, it says there's manufacturers Anvil Aerospace and Colosan to provide exclusive parts for their products, which implies that there's a. What if it's the vehicle, the Aquila, the Aquila? What's it called? The Exilia.
Yep.
An AMD Exilia variant. Yeah, I could see that, to be honest with you. The Exilia makes the most sense, to be honest. If I kind of sit there and break it down, of the known things that we know are coming.
Yep. No, given they partner with...
so people are bringing up Consolidated Outland. It actually mentions Consolidated Outland and Anvil. Yep. There is nothing from Anvil. AMD related.
We've got the AMD ship, the Mustang Amiga. So we've got that. AMD do spaceship components and electronic tuning.
Mm.
So, an Anvil sensor ship, spy ship,
Only
Warfoy ship.
Only Parker had given us a link. We could have given him credit, but nah, didn't find shit.
Yeah,
I
know.
I had to find it myself. Fuck. Anyway.
So hard.
Um,
But yes, it's an interesting one.
It is an interesting
I'm pretty certain that's an old. I'm pretty certain that's pretty old link. When did they update it?
I wonder if it means it's another racing thing.
Well, they could, but given it's, that spacecraft components, electronic tuning, we know that scanning's coming in. We know that it makes sense for for scanners and stuff. So are they? Do we have a new Anvil ship that's going to be?
It could go so many different ways. Like Intel got their entire own chip. AMD got a variant. Now you don't think AMD would go back and say, "We want our own chip too, please"?
Yeah. Well,
maybe Intel put in a bucket load of cash and AMD were tight and didn't put much in. Don't know.
Yeah,
Could it be a Legionnaire variant? Could it be? All we've got right now is Anvil and AMD. And let your brains go wild. that's simple.
Yeah.
I can go anywhere.
Well, here's another. When AMD did their collab with CIG, did they do? Okay, we'll do this ship and an Anvil ship down the track. Don't know what the conditions of those collabs with the real world companies were. The big difference was AMD wanted to be in game.
Yeah.
And they helped design the label and the brand, so it was actually an in-game company, whereas Intel isn't a company in game, but they got their own unique ship. So there is a difference in the way both packages were done. Yes, the Amiga is a variant, but also, AMD is actually a brand in game.
But also AMD were doing it as an add-on to a graphics card, so they just wanted a more appealing chip to a lot of people. That's why it was a Mustang. But Intel wanted it to sell the product, so they wanted a more expensive chip that would drive sales. So I'm inclined to think AMD are on the same thing again, where this is going to be something they give a copy of the game and a chip with their graphics cards. So I think it's more likely to be something sub $100. Again, different marketing approaches, different things. If it was to be a whole new ship, they would want that to drive a new product. And there's nothing really there that I can see. It's going to be a graphics card. It's just going to be a graphics card again.
And look, I could see when AMD did their thing, they got the big thing they got in the ship was, the Amiga had back then an extra fuel port. Fuel scoop, so you could basically stay in boost all the time back then, as opposed to the Amiga, which would run out, the Gamma, which would run out of boost. But they got their branding all over the ship. It's probably one of the coolest race skins in the game with the AMD logo all over it.
Agreed.
And they got AMD as a company in game. That was massive.
I think the other thing is when you're moving from Consolidated Outland to Anvil, it kind of goes from racing to combat for me.
Yeah, that's right. And so so how would you turn an Anvil? I couldn't see an Anvil ship having AMD logo plastered all over it.
If it's not the Exilia, this is where my brain's going. You correct me if you think I'm wrong, right? I go bounty hunting. And I think it's a Hawk variant with a custom loadout, kind of like what you got Gamma just turned out to be a skin at the end, right? The Amiga turned out to be a skin. Amiga. But if you had a custom loadouted Hawk with bounty hunting coming, the action orientation of video games, you see where I'm going, right? Like, it's a bit better than the standard
used in graphics cardy type stuff. So with an AMD with an accelerated mass design,
with the tuning, because the company. Yep.
Well, I was thinking that the Bounty Pod is a AMD designed.
No, I
labeling on
just
it.
think it's just different weapons on a Hawk. Kind of like and it's an exclusive. So you know how you can get like the what was it called? The Avenger Renegade. Kind of like that, but you can only get it through this promotion.
But the thing is, you look at what they sell. They design electronic components. They sell spaceship components. So there are spaceship components in the game with the AMD brand on them somewhere. We don't have them yet. We don't have access to them yet.
But what's the point of changing the bed to an AMD bed? What do you get out of it?
But they get the labeling on the side of the bed.
You just change
the component.
You just change the way
you make a shield component. You give a shield component with the AMD name on it.
I get all that, but the bed part's the part I don't get. There's no point in changing the bed.
It was just the component for storing your bounty is a toggle thing, and it's got their branding on the side. So they sleep twice as long or something stupid. That doesn't make any sense. I can understand changing components. It's just the bounty bed. I'm just saying it's somewhere. The bounty.
What you're saying is it's made up and it doesn't.
It's just.
What you're saying is it's made up and makes no sense. So I can understand changing the weapons and the components, but changing the bed, that's ridiculous.
To me, there's no. But if you're talking the Hawk, we're talking about the place where your bounty gets stored, right? That.
Okay, so explain to me how it changes. What is the difference in this bed?
I think you're just putting the branding on the side. That's all I'm saying. It's just do stuff where you put the branding on the side. Because I wouldn't see. Let me finish.
Makes no sense and it's a waste of time.
I would not see it with a racing skin like the Amiga. So
you're talking. You're actually not talking about the bed. You're just talking about a skin.
I'm just talking about. Instead of a skin on the ship, where are we going to put the branding and the labeling on the ship? And the first thing that came to mind was the stasis pod for the prisoner. There could be components on the ship like shields or
you really need to choose your words more carefully, because you said the bed would change. And the bed makes no sense. But I get what you're saying.
You kept cutting me off because I couldn't clarify.
You weren't putting. Well, I gave you 3 or 4 opportunities and you just kept saying the bed. You've got to clarify more quickly in a couple of sentences, not just repeat the same thing over and over. So what you're saying is it's a skin ship with different components, different guns, which is essentially what I said. But what you're also saying is maybe a skin for the cryo bed as it floats along. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the cryo bed or the shield or the power plant or...
I'm with you.
Or all those other components, or the sensor suite, but
or exclusive.
We'll see AMD.
Or a couple of exclusive components that you can only get from AMD, much like kind of what the extra boost section was meant to be on the
Mustang
Amiga. And I'm with you. I actually think they should go back and do a custom component for the Amiga to separate it from the Gamma. Totally there with you.
Just to give it some boost, whether it's a better shield, whether it's a better power plant, whether it's but something that really does do that. Because at the moment it's just the brand and skin coloring game. And yeah, sure, okay. The beauty of that is you've got the branding of the company, but yeah.
There's some people carrying on about other Anvil ships. Yeah, any of that is possible, but you've got to look at it as in what the history is and what is the most likely. I don't think you're going to see them give away a $350 Crucible with a video card. Just don't see that happening. Even then, I think you're pushing it with the Saber Raven at $180, right? And let's be honest, that was to sell the product, not to sell the ship. This is the other way around. They're trying to sell the video card, and they're trying to entice you with a copy of a game of Star Citizen and a little modified ship. It's the other way.
And the difference in the way the companies did their deal, like you said, Intel, you bought the card and you bought the
how many months after that card,
and you got the ship?
How many months after the card came out from Intel did it not be on sale anymore? It wasn't even 12 months and they weren't selling it anymore. Those AMD graphics cards are still sold. It's supply and demand. You just do the math. They don't need a $350 ship to sell a graphics card. They just
Someone was telling me the other week their dad had bought, I think it was their dad, had bought one of those Intel SSDs
Mm-hmm.
and it still had the little card.
They still work.
They claimed they're Raven.
Yep.
So they actually got the Raven.
Yep, the code still works. They were meant to expire, but
the code still works.
There are a lot of scammers out there, so be careful. Yeah, and Intel still has license to make more and just give them away. They've been doing them at events. The Poets is a Twitter guy and a TikToker guy. He does a lot of Star Citizen content, and he is a big. He does a lot of tech reviews and stuff like that, and he's a Star Citizen fan. And he will go around and get codes and get Intel to give them away because Intel just forgot they had them. But they can just give them away. So he even got them to go do a Intel PC that looked like a Raven. And they gave that away too. So he's been really pushing it. So if you want a chance of getting a Raven code legitimately, that would be who I'd go to. Go to Poets and say, hey, when's the next time can I meet up with you at a convention and get a code?
Citizen Ninja make the point that the big difference between them is, AMD had their name in game as a verse company, whereas Intel have the selling rights of the Raven, which is why we don't see the Raven. But yeah.
Interested to see where it goes.
By the way, I think the reason we didn't have any questions is I think the bot did die.
Oh, it did die. All right, hang on. I'll open the bot again.
That's why we won't get any more, because I did see after we said that we did get. I saw questions go in, and I just looked, and they didn't show. So
have a look. It's back up.
There's going to be a page now.
Well, maybe it doesn't run long enough to even bring a single question. We'll see. Sometimes it dies pretty quickly. No, there goes.
No. There they come.
Yeah, about 5.
Only 4 or 5 more.
That's all right. Well, we've got 15 minutes, and that'll get us to the end. Right, next one. Andrew.
All right. So the next question was Full Nelson. Could they not be treated like the Hornet turret spots? Sort of module-like. I think he's talking about the sneak peeky things as componenty things. That's my guess. Anything's possible, yes. If they're components, yes, they could be treated like modules that click onto hard points. Donnie question. My question was about modules for the Shiv, because there is a module tab on the loadout screen. I know what you're doing. It is frustrating when you keep chopping those.
Sorry, I'm just
when someone keeps chopping, when someone keeps deleting the bot, it is frustrating.
Just cleaning them up. Teaching Johnny what it's like, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. So Donnie was saying his question was about the modules for the Shiv, because there's a module tab on the loadout screen of a Shiv in the Moby class. So when you get, I hadn't noticed. I haven't taken the Shiv out enough times to notice that. Usually when I play, it's either a Connie or a Reclaimer I take out, or an Idris.
I got this linked by, I can't see the person's name because I'm in streamer mode, but someone on the Discord and Spoiler linked this. And apparently this is on April the 25th, which is next month. And it's in Vegas, and AMD are involved, and they reckon that's where this ship is coming.
I would not be surprised.
Makes sense to me.
An Atmo esports event. By the look of it, no. Expo just join us up.
No, it's
just an event. I misread that.
Las Vegas, Nevada. We're bringing the verse to you. Stetson is heading to Level It Up Expo from the 24th at Las Vegas Convention Center, and will be show floor all weekend. Well, come say hello, meet teams, spend time with the community, make sure. So it's just some kind of. I think this is the start of rolling out.
Squadron.
Starting to promote stuff, build the hype.
Yep. I would not be surprised.
Doesn't say anything about Squadron. It's just got Star Citizen, AMD, and Virpal, Level Up, and Steelix.
It's starting out the hype train. No, I think you're right. And AMD there. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a new ship.
Makes a lot of sense to me. So maybe it's a part of a thing for AMD. Maybe they're announcing a new product there or something like that, and it hand in hand. So,
Yep.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense to me.
It does indeed.
Yep. I expect a full report, Parker.
Yep.
You're gonna have to buy a camera. You have to live stream it. Me and I are gonna be there bitching at you the whole way. If we don't, get exclusive access, you're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. We want a full report, school report from Algared. How many words? 5,000 words, Algared? 5,000 words. 5,000.
No, school reports are never 5,000 words, mate.
No, but he's used to an adult level. 5,000 words, university level. All right, come on. 5,000 words, spoken audibly in a presentation, live on stream. Me and Algared will tune in and might even talk to you if it's good enough. We might grace you with our presence.
Harsh.
No, it'd be really cool. Really cool. No, all seriousness, yeah, go find out what you can. Let us know. It'd be great.
All right, that's that one. We've done that one. We're done.
Don't you die?
You just made that button.
Don't you die?
Oh, don't want to do that.
Alrighty. What's next?
We've done that one as well. So Doom 4419S says, if you had to choose between the Paladin and the Perseus for 3 people, which would it be and why? I can't decide.
Paladin.
My question for you is, which one you want to do? What do you want to do? Combat?
You said 3 people. You said 3 people. The Paladin. By the time you add engineering in properly and all that to the Perseus, and like I said when it came out, it's going to get. It's only really good at taking out the big ships out. Like, a lot of people see the weakness of that thing now. They didn't see it at the time, but everything we said came to pass. It's weaker against smaller ships, and it is.
And that's what I was saying. What are you into? If you're into straight combat and fighting capital ships, then Perseus. But if you're after everything, and you're doing you and your mates playing the game, and what do you do with your ship? It's a Paladin.
I got a Paladin and a Perseus last year, and I tell you now, I use the Paladin a hell of a lot more than I do the Perseus. That's simple, And if I had to lose one, it would be the Perseus.
I like the interior of the Perseus, but I tend not to use it. I like the Paladin, but I tend not to use it. So it's not two of the ships that I take out all the time. It's just the ships I like are the ships I just keep pulling out. It's weird. Nelson says, could the AMD... So, not full Nelson says, could the AMD Anvil ship be the Legionnaire?
Could be anything, really. But
anything's possible.
Again, look at the history. Legionnaire, Orc, I could see a few... Try and tie it in a gameplay that's out currently. So that or racing, I just think...
Yep.
They've already done racing. Why wouldn't they want to do something else? Yeah.
Well, they were... And in a sense, with the ship that they developed for racing, it was they were basically getting a ship and modifying with their components and other things to turn it into a better racer. Now, Donnie comes in with a point. He says, if AMD want to be in-game as a corp or faction, they will have to be a component manufacturer. That is exactly what they are in-game. Like, they've been in... This is not a new thing. They have been in-game since, 2015? As an in-game company with the Amiga. You look at the do you have your Amiga handy or a picture of your Amiga?
Go find one. I'm arguing with Just Right at the moment.
Yep. Just Right. Leave him alone. Stop it.
This is this one. Is that the one you want?
Yep, that'll do. So this came out. This was the Amiga, the Mustang Amiga, and it's in the red. It's in the AMD logo there. You've got it on the front, and it's basically just the new ship. It used to have 2 fuel scoops, one up above, one below, but they got changed. It's okay just to
What
ride.
if there's an
It's okay.
old... Where's the old?
Yeah, because those fuel scoop, both fuel scoops are missing.
Is that the
So-
old one? I think that is the
No.
old one, isn't it? No.
No,
I
'cause it
remember,
used to have the fuel scoop.
I only remember it having
the
the
top and
center.
below.
I only remember having the center fuel scoop, not the one you were talking. Yeah, there's the old one right there. See, center, middle.
But it had one underneath as well.
Oh,
Like,
did it? Okay.
At the bottom. So the Gamma only had the top one.
Okay.
And
There's-
still,
But this one here on the bottom. This,
yeah. So the Amiga had both. But it was labeled. It's got the in-game labeling. Is basically the key thing, and it's always been. Since it came out, it's always been. Been in-game, and they came in as an in-game company that made components and tweaked things, and
Definitely cooler that it
Tuned.
landed on its wing too.
it was so much cooler.
And then literally after they did the rework of this ship, the very next ship they did was the Nomad that on hover legs.
Well, they changed this because the invisible, when you blew off a wing, it
Yeah. I get
didn't
why.
work, and so they
I get why they did it. I just,
yeah.
why didn't they just make it land on its hover legs like they did the Nomad and the problem would have been solved? It's nicer and cleaner, I get that, but lost a lot of its personality.
Well,
What was unique?
see, when it first came out, Donnie, it actually had an extra fuel scoop. So the story was AMD had gone in collaboration with Consolidated Outland, and they'd tweaked the ship. They'd actually tuned it to make it an even better racer. So it had an additional fuel scoop. So they modified the ship.
And it felt like a real slap to the face to everyone that owned one when they basically made it a red Gamma. Because basically we brought it knowing it had this extra thing, and they're just like, oh, by the way, we've removed it. And it was it still pisses me off to this day because it was something that we had and they took it away just because they didn't want to put in the work for a few people that owned it. It was well, we're never going to sell this again. It's not in our interest to fucking give it to you now. So I actually think they should go. But again, now you've got you've got to go back and put components in this thing. So when you go back and put components in it, put an exclusive component in it that gives us that extra boost back.
It gives it something.
Yeah.
I get why they changed it, because when they changed from the way boost worked, where you'd actually use your fuel scoops to actually build up your boost, and then you could use your boost again.
It also had to be. It also meant they had to modify and maintain a second complete version of a ship that wasn't used for many people, where all the other Mustangs looked exactly the same, right?
And this one was just
So I understand why they did it, but now the features come along. Please go back, and you might not even remember that, because it's 10 years ago. But go back and just make it so that there's a unique accelerated mass driver booster component, or whatever the component, like engine or whatever it is, that's made by AMD, that's only available in this ship, and it gives you extra boost. Problem solved.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah. No, don't call it or something, because it was originally boost. I want my extra boost back, bitch. That's what I want. A boost back, bitch. That's it. That's what it's called. The BBB. I want the BBB engine. The boost back bitch engine. That's what I want. So, or something else. The BBB. That's what I want. Problem solved.
Yeah, so when they did change the way boost was working, so the old fuel scoop idea just didn't work. But you want to change, you want to do something to make this different from a Gamma. And at the moment, it's just an in-game skin.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Maybe we should do that at AMD. Hashtag BBB. And they'll have no clue what we're talking about.
Hashtag BBB.
Boost back
Bring
bitch.
back boost.
Or bring back boost or boost back bitch. Yeah, take it however you want. Bring back my boost back bitch. BBBBBB. This is the 5 Bs. Anyway, right. Enough of that shit. I'm in shenanigans.
The last question.
Please.
Do you guys think the Phoenix Emerald, Nautilus, Solstice, and other similar ships will be sold as skins at some point, or will they keep them as their own ship? I would love for the Emeralds to be a skin rather than the actual hull color.
I didn't even think of that, Agrid. Question. Let's have. Can you?
You can put skins on the emerald.
Can we do
and change
just
the
that?
skin.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious. Did it go the other way as well?
But I don't think it does.
Yeah, not going to hurt to look, is it?
Is there an emerald skin? Nope.
None of the emerald skins are there. That's really weird.
No, because they're actually the ship itself is actually like the P-72. The
so no.
They all get that.
Yep.
So it's actually as if the metal is green rather than anything else.
And they are priced with. Oh, this one says paint. See? It's just not available in the paint store for some reason. But yeah, the emerald is the only one. Oh, maybe it's listed under Fortuna.
It might be under Fortuna.
Not under emerald. Paint. There we go. But there is no.
I did see an emerald P-72.
Yeah.
But is that a paint for the P-72 or is it just a?
It's a paint.
Okay.
Paint. So
everything.
Yeah, everything except the emerald.
Yep. Although the emerald.
I love people coming in on Twitch trying to do exclamation ticket max, exclamation giveaway.
Yep.
Turn up trying to win shit for free. Not gonna happen. You gotta do the work here, bro. You gotta do the work. If you want to win the ship, you've got to get on the Discord. You've got to go to the roast channel, and you've got to know who Algared is to be able to roast him. So that means you're ruled out straight away. And then you've got to, or you can roast the Peregrine ship. We do not make giveaways easy. Well, we make them easy for people to watch. We make them hard for people that just want to come in and get those shit for free. No, free stuff. No, bitch.
Right at the end.
You can fuck right off.
Coming in now would probably not help you because usually would have done it by now.
Yeah.
But,
and we'll probably, I don't know, we'll give that away in the next week or two or whatever. So yeah. So yeah. Right, is that all the questions, Algared? I think that's everything.
Oh, no, we've had a few more pop in. But
Too bad.
No, that's done.
Too bad, because I've got to go find someone to raid now. Where am I? Twitch.
So John Ski.
Don't read it.
Do you think the gold standard Hammerhead will be improved? Worth another. It'll be improved. A Hammerhead will be improved with its gold standard. In fact, there's probably a variant coming. And that was the last question.
Wow. Man, there's like 6 people streaming together, and I don't know who any of them are. Here, look, I'll bring it over. But they're bigger than us, but there's 6 of them. Metal Wolf Rising, Synatic 07, this Nightingale, Cobra. Oh, Cobra SC. Cobra's probably got most of them. Cobra's the only one I know of those guys. Have a look now. Oh, here we go. Incent Gaming AU. We got an Australian guy. What?
Well, I'd take back the Australian guy.
I think we'll go. We'll get. Oh, I think I know this guy. I think I've seen him before.
I've seen him. I know him.
All right. So we'll give him a raid.
Yep.
Cleo or any other regulars around, say hi in the chat right now.
Australian accent.
I want to
it throws me every time.
Yeah, I know.
We sound like
that bad?
We sound like a bunch of fucking idiots, don't we? Fucking terrible. Right.
I know.
All right, Twitch, say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, say go to Twitch. Ask him if his glasses can see into the future. I want to know. All right, with that then, see you, Twitch. We'll see you next week. And They're gone. All right, let's have a listen.
Any boxes in here? Oh, Inforunners with a raid of 59. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, the Sandist of Gropers is here. Hey, Sandy. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. My name's TrexGamer73, otherwise known as Indecent AU. You are now in the Indecent Gaming AU channel.
Purple microphone cover.
69. Oh.
Hmm? Yep.
Yeah,
He
what?
does have a purple
Thank you,
microphone.
Wright. Thank you, Sandy.
He's got it color matching
Thank you
his
for, sending
trim.
these good people my way. I hope you've warned them what they're ready
No
for.
one asked them
Gameplay
about the glasses.
with,
No.
a whole lot of
I
info
know.
I
I
feel
know it is.
betrayed.
That's okay.
Feel betrayed.
That's okay.
If we're fine with that, we can move on.
All right. We'll leave him to do his own thing. All right.
Yep.
With that, then, I'll do the manual. My button broke because of this update.
Oh,
Don't
I did.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and thank you to everyone an extra mile on Patreon at the end of the video. Algared, you were saying?
I did have a note that says, with the 4.7, we do have the backpacky item system being nicely brought in, and you can play
the
around with that
inventory.
on PTU.
Yeah, the inventory.
The inventory system. I forgot to mention that, but
We talked
did
about
have a
that.
note, but-
We talked about that weeks ago.
we've talked about it in the past, so it wasn't. But yeah,
Yep, all good. All right, with that, then, he's been Algared.
he's been executed. Oh, damn, got it after 2 weeks, and we're out of here.
He's lost it.
I know.
2 weeks, and
I know.
he's just fallen to shit. He's next week. You're gonna come back, and he's just gonna be a skeleton sitting there going,
No, execute. Stop being so mean to Algared.
I'm surprised your arthritis is not so bad that you just like touch something and your whole hand falls off at this point. But yeah. Right. All right. With that, then, yeah, Algared, execute. Be citizens.
We're out of here. Take care.